Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Captain Coder here, coming at you through the power of the internet. Through the power of the internet. We're floating through space time. Floating through space time. Good morning, Denny XXX. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. It's so nice to be here with all you beautiful people. The beautiful people, the beautiful people. The beautiful people. Ha. Anyway, so happy to be here with you this morning. What are we doing today? Moonness, thank you for trying to buy my house. I'm sorry, I don't own a house. I don't own anything. I own very little. That's not true. I own a lot. I try to own very little. I'm slightly, you might call me a wannabe minimalist. We also got Devro, a happy Wednesday, my friend. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Moonness, how are you feeling? I know you had a little bit of an allergy scare yesterday. Is that accurate to say? I'm sorry if that's TMI for other people. How are you doing? Wannabe minimalist. I know that like I want to be a minimalist, but I also like my board games. It's a what is that, a catch 23? What is it, catch 23 when you want some? It's you can have your cake and eat it too, but you can't eat your cake and have it too. Is that how that phrase works? If you have a cake, you can eat it, but if you eat your cake, you can't have it. Maybe. Time appropriate greetings to you, Lance. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. Nice to have you here. How you doing, Lance? How's work going? How are you on this beautiful Wednesday morning? I'm doing wonderful, my friends. Any day I get to wake up in code. Moona says, I'm fine now, almost died, but I'm good now. Lost a foot and 3 arms. Luckily I grew another eye in my forehead. Perfect. It's the mind's eye. It's the mind's eye. Does it let you see into the code? It's like the Matrix. All those zeros and ones, does it let you read binary, like perfectly? Sailboat Stoat, good time zone to you too. Sailboat Stoat, happy to have you here on this beautiful Wednesday. How are you, my friend? How are you? It's so good to see you on a Wednesday morning for me. Maybe an afternoon, maybe an evening for you. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, so nice to see everybody here on this beautiful day. What are we gonna try and do? What do we have? The third eye just sees red. It's just red. So everything in my life is now tinted red. Well, better to have a red eye than a brown eye, I say. If you saw everything brown, then that might not be okay. But I hope it's not sorry, that was a terrible joke. I apologize. It's supposed to be a PG-11 teen stream. I'm sorry, folks. I take it back. No one clipped that. Lance says, good so far, thanks. Work as well, almost done. Thankfully, a quiet shift so far. Moon, glad you are feeling better. Rather having a yeah. I'm sorry, Moon. Pink eye would be pretty bad too. Anyway, G, whoa. Oh man, G, thank you so much for the raid. Whoa, indeed. Welcome, G. Nice to have you here on this beautiful Wednesday. Sorry I didn't catch your stream this morning. I always love watching you. Are you still working on what's the game? The Metroidvania game. I forget what it's called. OG, oh my OG. That's right. Good morning, G. Oh, Axiom Verge 2 though. It's the sequel, right? Axiom Verge 2. The game looks really, really cool. The pixel, I love me a good pixel art game. Oh man, the coffee tastes extra good today. So I did a really deep clean on my Keurig. So usually every 3 months you're supposed to do a clean. So I do like the cleaning fluid every 3 months, but I did a deep clean of it yesterday. Oh my goodness. It makes you wonder, like, what gunk have I been drinking this whole time? This coffee tastes, or maybe it's just because I have a new type of coffee. This coffee tastes so good today. It's, that bean water. G says, I think I already finished Axiom Verge 1 before, so I'm playing 2 now. Awesome, my friend. What are your thoughts on it? Any thoughts? Good, bad, ugly? I love the pixel art. My one complaint is, that the sound effects feel a little bit like repetitive and annoying. That was the one thing that I noticed when I was watching your stream. I think maybe yesterday or the day before, is like some of the sound effects were just like over and over and over, but you can get over that. And sometimes when you're in a game, you don't realize that. It's just like if it, you know, I'm kind of watching and I'm kind of working, you know, it can get on your, can get under your fingernails, as they say. All right, folks, what are we working on today? What the heck am I doing? We are working on DiceLang++. It's the interpreted programming language that supports dice rolls, built-in dice rolling. Dice notation is a numeric type in this language. Let's see what we got so far. Captain Coder, and I need this, I really need to, I wonder if there's like a nice terminal or a nice shell that I could just copy, because my REPL is terrible. Because it doesn't have, I can't press up and get the last thing back. And I thought it'd be really easy to add in, but it turns out it's like not that easy to add in. But what have we added since last time? Well, we got, you know, as you know, we got dice notation 1d6. We can do that, roll some dice. We've added in if expressions. So they're not if statements, they're if expressions. So we do have Boolean, some relational operators. So 1d6 less than 3. 1d6 less than 3. So, you know, we can get true and false values. We added in Boolean operators, so ands and ors, 1d6 less than 3 and true. We could do and true. I don't have an up arrow, so I have to keep typing this out, which is really annoying. So we can do that. We can do true, ands, ors, and not. So we can do true and false, or true and false. I'll just do that twice. It's gonna be false because we got the ands. The ands have higher precedent than ors, as they should. We can also do not. So if you did not true, you get ooh, that's an issue. Not false, not true. Ooh, my not expression isn't being evaluated properly. There is operator precedence. G, that's correct. But there is there's a little sadness here. My not operator is definitely not working properly. So that's right, we're gonna add a test. Okay, so we're gonna add in a bonus thing here. Not a bonus, but a 0. This should be 1, 2, 3, 0. Right, tests for not operator. All right, so we do have a little issue there. If you try turning it off and on again, that's what I just tried, Moon. Didn't work. Our not operator appears to just return normally. Let's go look at our expression real quick. Our not operator. So check out our not expression, just evaluates the bool and returns it. So we got to do a not here. That should fix it. That should be, boom. Let's check it out. Let's fix our not operators here. Woo me, ITC Studios, not true. Give us false and not false. We'll give us true now. All right, so we done did it, folks. You were here to see it. We write, oh, I didn't write a test for the not operator. Here, write, fix. Perfect, you guys were here to witness it. We done did it, task 0. We accomplished something today, crossed it off our list, found it. Now, you know what that means, everybody? Everyone gets 50 points to all 17 of you. Thank you guys so much for being here to witness this momentous occasion. 13 minutes, this is the fastest I've ever completed a task. Fastest I've ever completed a task. Yeah, that's right, Woomy, 13 minutes in. We found a bug and we squashed it. We finished our 0th points today. Yeah, it's action 0. Woomy, how are you on this beautiful Wednesday? Thank you so much for answering. I'm doing fabulous, my friend. Any day, I love to say this. Any day I can wake up and code is a good day. Any day I can wake up and code is a good day. Anyway, I can wake up and be with my crew, even better. So I'm doing fabulous, folks. If you guys don't know, the incredible, the insatiable, the infragnable ITC Studios over there. Woomy is an amazing indie game developer. Pixar, you see that beautiful pixar, folks? Currently working on a 2D action adventure role-playing game called Anomaly. Gotta check it out. Check out her stream. Give her some love, folks. Hit that little heart if you haven't done so already, because you won't be disappointed. I promise. And bring the popcorn. Because Woomy loves some popcorn. Woomy, always a pleasure. Love to give you some shout-outs. But we also have ifs in here, so if true, then we only have like Boolean, and if true, then 0, else 1. If false, then 0, else 1. And then because, so then we can do if false, then 0, else we can add if. So since there's just a whole expression, we can chain these. If they'll do a true, then 1, else 2. And then I can come through here, I can copy this. Copy. If false, this should get us back at 2. So we have working if else statements in there too. White space in this language doesn't matter, so technically if I was in a file, I could sort of do the white space how I want it to, because this language is like one big expression in that regard. Muna says, I've eaten popcorn every evening the last week. Dice Lang Plus, what's going beautifully well, Woomy? We almost are Turing complete. We are almost Turing complete. We're gonna add in, what are we gonna add in today? I gotta do a little bit of reorganization today. So I wanna refactor. My expressions file is pretty gnarly. This file needs to be organized a little better. So I'm gonna pull this into a couple different files. So we're gonna refactor that. I wanna add language level errors. So right now, if you, I'm pretty sure, let's try some false plus 7. Oh, maybe it won't crash. What's something that might be crash? What are the things? Not here, not 7. Oh, it won't even let me do that because this is expecting to be followed by a Boolean expression. Okay, there was something in here that I had to throw an exception for. Okay. Can I do if? I don't think this will even work. I think the parser prevents if 5 plus 6, then 1, else 0. Yeah, it won't even let us do that. Okay, so the parser is smart enough to do that. I'm not sure we can actually get an exception explicitly, but I'd like to add in, let's see, throw. Those are only 2 places I throw exceptions. Okay. Can I do true plus 7? No, because if you have a Boolean on one side, okay, so my parser actually prevents us from doing things like this. So I bet we don't get a good error message, but our parser does say like, oh, by the way, I know that this thing on the left happens to be a Boolean expression because of the parser, so I can't add it, but we just get unexpected plus, which is not the best error message. It's actually one of the worst error messages you can get. You're like, well, I don't know what the heck that means. Okay, so maybe I'll actually change it. I'm gonna swap these. So that we have a let expression there. Implement let expression, because once we do that, we're gonna need language level errors because we don't have type checking. So, but we're gonna add let expressions, add language level errors. So this let expressions means that we're gonna be able to add in, I'm doing air quote variables, but it's local scoping. The variables are not going to be, what am I gonna say? The variables are locally scoped. They're not variables, they're constants. You can create labels. So we're gonna add in let expressions. This is one of the definitions of why something might be a functional programming language, is you have immutable data. There's gonna be practically no immutable data. Our arrays might be mutable. We might make a mutable arrays if we have time, and then we can no longer claim that we're purely functional. But my goal here is to add let expressions today. I want to add support. My language extension is going to be a .die file. So I thought that was I'm pretty excited about having these .die files. That's going to be the extension for the language. And then if we have time, probably not going to have time today, we're going to add in lambda expressions. And once we have that, we'll have a Turing complete language. We'll have a Turing is that true? No, I think we need lists first to be Turing complete. We're gonna be close. Dramulk says, howdy Dramulks. Welcome back, my friend. How are you today? How are your fruit trees and cropping going? Geez, replying to ITC Sue says, I usually just pop the corn myself. Then it's really easy to have nice warm popcorn. That's also easy. The popping is also really cool to watch. Yeah, I usually do it in a pan on the stove. I'll usually pop my popcorn in a pan. All right, so that's our goal for today. We're gonna refactor our expression. So we're gonna start there. Break these out into values. All right, so we're gonna create a new a new folder. I'm going to call these values. Create a new file, iValue.cs, and we're just going to pull these things into each on their own. iValue looks like this. Then we can drop you. What are you complaining about? Unit already contains the definition. Okay, so let's come back here. Open up a new one, .NET build. Dremel says, I'm doing okay. Found out Unity was using too much CPU, GPU in editor. I think it was because some assets, custom editor windows, which is weird. So there was sort of like some rogue asset running. I don't like, oh, there it goes. Please fix yourself. If I close that and reopen you, do you reevaluate? There we go. Some rogue editor window that was just eating up resources. I've had that sort of thing happen to me before. Let's create one called, all right, so then our values here, create new file, int value, expression. So this is an int value. And we'll put the namespace here. Save that. And a bool value. Create new file, bool value. Namespace. Should have this just be an implicit namespace. Save that there. Dice group expression. So now I need to create a new folder, expression. We'll move this. Create new file, iExpression. Like that. Jeremy says, yeah, it was heating up my Mac whenever I was panning around in the editor. Well, it's a good way to keep your house warm though, right? In the winter, just fire up Unity, get a rogue editor window, and then pan that mouse around. It can heat up your whole house. Heat it all up, get a nice fan blowing on over the Mac, get that heat distribution throughout the home, you know, save on those energy bills for sure. Don't, maybe not. Use the X editor to bake some popcorn. Ooh, that's a good idea. Even better idea, G, for your contributions, my friend. For such an excellent, superb idea. 50 points to you, my friend. Yeah, 50 points to you, my friend. Thank you so much for that suggestion. We're gonna have to try that out later. Dramokes, let us know how it goes. Let us know how it goes. Let us know how your egg tastes, how your popcorn tastes. But just be careful. You might want to put a little bit of something to protect your keyboard while you're doing that. Metensis. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Metensis, I welcome you to the crew today. Welcome, Metensis. I would like to say thank you for following me. Metensis, I am butchering your name. Metensis, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coder's Academy, where we learn and code and grow together. I am Captain Coder. I'm a computer science educator. If you have any questions, programming related or otherwise, do not hesitate to ask. But I'm so happy you're here today on this beautiful Wednesday, my friend. This beautiful Wednesday. All right, so we're getting some refactorage in. Our iExpression, go away, you. Go away. All right, so then my dice group expression. New file, dice group expression. There's just too much in this file. It's hard to search. I suppose if you had a really cool editor, that would be a neat editor. Where it just doesn't, that's an idea for a C# editor where you just start writing stuff. And it will automatically like organize your code for you. Put it in the correct spots, but you don't see like the file hierarchy here. You might see like a namespace hierarchy. It automatically puts things in there for you. And then when you do searches, it will search through the hierarchy for you rather than doing like a file search. That would be interesting to have some sort of thing. And there might already be that. I would love to be able to search by types. Using CaptainCoder.core. We need the random in this one. I don't know if that idea makes sense to anyone else. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. It's a beautiful idea. Then we're going to add in our binary operators. New binary operator expression. Like this. Copy that. Copy that.
Whoa.
Angel Bear with the raid, folks. Holy cannoli. We got an Angel Bear in our midst. Angel Bear does whatever an Angel Bear does. Does it code? Yes, they do. Look out. Here comes the Angel Bear. Folks, if you don't know Angel Bear, would it be fair to call you an aspiring game developer, programmer, hacker extraordinaire? I'm not entirely sure. What would you describe yourself as? But folks, Angel Bear, incredible human being, amazing person. Gotta go check that stream out. Give Angel Bear some love by click that heart. Give Angel Bear some love. Check him out. Because it's an amazing stream over there. Fun times are had by all. But Angel Bear, welcome aboard. How was your stream? I'm dying to know how it ended up. All right. Enjoy your lurk, Dramulks. As always, you are welcome back anytime, my friend. Angel Bear, no, Angel Bear, you are awesome. AWE, that's you. I'm in awe of your sum. It was an awesome and productive stream today. Fantastic. That's always fantastic. Productivity always feels fantabulous. All right, so I'm gonna take all these arithmetic expressions and put them together. I don't need a separate file. So one thing, this would be something in Java. It'd be like you have to have a separate file for all of these. I do like arithmetic expression like this, and I can just put all of my arithmetic methods together. Like a so. Okay. Save. Doesn't like to int. Ambiguous between I value and I value. That's a fake error, right? What? Ambiguous call between I value to, let's see if this is a real error. .NET build. Can we build it? Yes, we can. Phantom errors in VS Code drive me nuts. I accidentally closed expression here. Gordienko Games is here today. Gordienko Games, how are you? I'm having a beautiful day, my friend. How are you on this beautiful day? Thank you for saying have a nice day. I will. Thanks to you. Thanks to you being here, telling me to have a nice day. Thank you. I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. How are you on this beautiful Wednesday? Hope it's a beautiful day for you. We're gonna call these relational operators. All right, so we're gonna do new relational operator expressions. So these are our relops, essentially is what you might call these, our relops. Greater than, less than, equality, our relops, and they need to be in this namespace here. Boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. All right, move that in there. Then we got these and expressions. I don't like what's going on here. Ambiguous I value. Why are you complaining about this? All right, we're gonna have to, once we're done here, these are gonna be our Boolean operators. Boolean operators, we'll move these to a new file. Boolean operator. Boolean operator expressions. And these would be, maybe they are operators, so that's okay. We've got the big juicy in the stream. We've got big juicy In our stream, we've got the Big Juicy 89. Big Juicy, welcome back, my friend. How are you on this beautiful, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm having a beautiful day. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful Wednesday, my friend. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ye Old Taurus King is here too. Ye Old Taurus King, I welcome back, my friend. So nice to have you here on this beautiful day. We're actually, Ye Old Taurus King, don't tell anyone, but I'm in the process. This is a multi-step project here. So many moons ago on the Discord, folks, Ye Old Taurus King suggested the game Captain Coder side scroller where you have to collect blocks of code and put the blocks together in the right order to achieve level progression. I'm making a programming language called Dicelang. I'm creating a programming language called Dicelang++. It is essentially the first step to being able to make a game like this. So Ye Old Taurus King, I've been wanting to make this game for months now. It's gonna take some time to get there, but this is the first step. But don't tell anyone. Shh, don't tell everyone that we're doing it. But we're making our way. We're making our way in the world today to make a coding game. Woo, too high. Should have started lower. But Ye Old Taurus King, how are you doing on this beautiful day? We got Kit's awesome wife. Kit's awesome wife, thank you so much for the follow the other day. I owe you a song. Kit's awesome wife. Have you met Kit's wife? She is awesome's what they say because she's cool, you know. And I met Kit's wife over on another stream. It was just Kit's wife to me. Kit's wife, thank you so much for being here. Kit's awesome, not just Kit's wife, Kit's awesome wife. Happy it's Wednesday, my friend. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. It's wonderful having you here today. The Big Juicy says, doing good. Have a final exam and presentation today. Then I'm off until I leave for Vietnam on Saturday. Good luck on your final exam and presentation. Oh, Big Juicy, I hope you're excited for your trip to Vietnam. I don't know what you're doing in Vietnam. I applied to work at a school in Vietnam. I'm kind of, before I got my remote job, I'm a remote teacher now, but I was actually kind of excited to go to Vietnam and work at a school there. I still might do that, but I'm doing fabulous on this beautiful morning, Big Juicy. I hope you're doing beautiful. I hope it's a wonderful day, and good luck on your exams, my friend. Good luck. Kit's awesome wife with the Babe Ross jam. The Babe Ross jam emote, love it. All right. So Kit's awesome wife. I'm not an art stream. I know Babe Ross is an awesome art streamer. I do coding. I do educational. I'm Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and I am a computer science educator. I teach at a school for ages 10 to 14. I'm a computer science teacher. I teach ages 10 to 14. But this stream is dedicated to learning to code, grow as a community. Every week here on Captain Coder's Academy, we try and do a new project. Sometimes the project takes 2 weeks, sometimes one time it took 3 weeks, but I imagine there will be other multi-week projects. We are actually writing our own programming language this week called Dicelang. Dicelang is a language that lets you use dice notation. So if you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, dice notation might make sense. But you can type things like 1d6 and you get back a random number that is the result of rolling a 6-sided dice. If we did 4d20, that is the equivalent of rolling 4 20-sided dice and we get a number back. But we can write expressions like this where we do math. So 4d20 minus 3d6 would be the result of rolling 4 20-sided dice and then subtracting the result of rolling 3 6-sided dice. And we have a little programming language we're putting together for that. We've also got Proton Fig. Aye, Capitan. Proton Fig, folks. If you guys don't know Proton, legendary, astounding Commodore 64 coding guru, musician, and graphician. Absolute legend. Absolute legend over here. Got to check out his SoundCloud. List beautiful chip tunes. They're not just tones. They're tunes made of tones directly from Proton's mind to your ears. Got to check out that stream as well. Kit's awesome wife. Yes, it is pretty nice. It's nice. We take suggestions too. So if you ever want to see, folks, this goes for everyone, not just Kit's awesome wife, but if you ever want to suggest a project, you can do so on the Discord. Folks, also, I gotta tell you, we got a giveaway going on, folks. The giveaway. Attention all lurkers. Please direct your attention to the screen. This is your captain speaking. We have a giveaway going on this week. If you want to win your very own Captain Coder holographic desk piece brought to us by the absolutely astounding MMO plug. These were all donated. I don't have a swag shop. You guys know I don't have a swag shop. But if you want, look, check out this Captain Coder. This Captain Coder hologram could be yours. It could be yours. Look at this go. Look at it. Hang on. Why isn't it changing? It comes with this remote, changes colors. You can set, look, we'll put it on flash mode, and then you can have yourself a little party, little Captain Coder party. Boom. Guaranteed, folks. Guaranteed. If this is on your desk, if this is on, guaranteed to give you guaranteed to give you up to somewhere between 0 and 17% extra coding powers, guaranteed to give you up to 17% bonus coding powers, folks, and it can be yours. All you gotta do, come on over to the Discord, folks, click that little react button. It has to be this Tada one. I know people want more cups. We're gonna do more cup giveaways, but gotta click that little react button here, and you are entered to win that BEA beautiful desk piece. Whew. And I will ship it anywhere in the world that the United States Postal Service will let me ship it. So come on over, get on in on it. Happy to have you here. Proton asks, how's it going today? It's going beautifully well, Proton Fig. How are you? Any day I can wake up and code is a beautiful day. Nerd Waffle, good morning, Cap. Good morning, Nerd Waffle. Welcome back. I love Nerd Waffle for breakfast. It's the smartest thing you can eat. Yes, Nerd Waffle, welcome aboard. How are you on this beautiful Wednesday? Hope you're doing beautiful. Kit says, I love you, your energy and positivity. Look, that's what we're all about here. We're all about, got to get it done. We got to learn something new. We are making progress here. We are refactoring our expressions into some separate files. And that said, folks, if you ever have any questions, this goes for everyone in the audience, everyone here, if you ever have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Just keep them age appropriate. PG-11, folks. This is a family-friendly stream. We want to have little Bobby, little Susie. We even want, you get your goldfish in the room. PG-11. Anything that, anything that's appropriate for an 11-year-old is appropriate for the captain. Welcome. All right, ramble rants over. All right, we're gonna move this, evaluate. This actually can just rename this file to if-else expression. All right, so this is essentially, if you're familiar with a ternary operator, this works like a ternary operator. All right, does this build? Will it build? Let's see if it'll build. .NET build, running. All right, did we break any of our tests? .NET test, let's check it out. And 27 tests passed. Doesn't mean that we're in the clear. It just means that all of our assumptions are continuing to work. I'm gonna reload VS Code because it has all these phantom errors. And then it looks like we might have finished 2 tasks. I always like to start with an easy one. Or something that I know I can get done quickly, hopefully, before our first break, we've only been going for 30 minutes. Oh, did my break timer reset? Sometimes it doesn't reset. Break timer. Did you reset? I said break. It did. We've been going for 34 minutes, folks. 34 minutes. Our test pass. Do we have any problems? No problems have been detected in the workspace. Still analyzing 50 files. Oh, this is a good sign. This is kind of oh, here we go. All right, local function can be made static. Sure. Static. Well, it is already static. Okay. All right. Never mind. Because we're in a top level program. That's just a phantom error. These words should begin with uppercase. That's true. True woo woo. Condition. True expert. False expert, and we save. Okay. Why did you not refactor with me? That was disappointing. True. False. If condition, and then we can do this. Look, return condition result dot to bool. We'll just write it this way. I like this better. Evaluate or false expr.evaluate. Boom. Easy peasy. Violation prefix with underscore. Oh, it should be prefixed with an S dice laying like that. Rule violation, S is not expected because what do you mean? Oh, it's because it's a property. It's a property. Dice laying expression helper, or we'll call this inner. There we go. Beautiful, got those out of there. Run our test one more time. All I did was some renaming that can cause some errors sometimes, but let's get our tests. Will it pass? Will it pass? Will it pass? We have passed. All right, folks, you saw it here first. We finished, number one here, boom, boom. We're gonna save that, refactored some expressions, got ourselves some abstract syntax tree broken up into separate files. You saw it here. You were here to witness this momentous occasion, and because you are here, because you are so amazing, everybody, you saw the captain do it. All of you can get 50 points. 50 points to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you very much. Now, for the fun part. Let's write let's get a commit in here. Get status. Yeah, don't forget to commit your work, folks. That way, if something goes wrong, you can always come back. Get commit -m. Chore. This was a refactor. Extract expressions into separate files. Boom. Push it up. Push it up to the big old GitHub in the sky. Big old GitHub in the cloud. That's probably really what it is. Not really in the sky. It's more of the cloud. Wait, I guess clouds are in the sky, so therefore GitHub's in the sky. I don't know. I always thought the term cloud was a really interesting term for data, like the data cloud. Okay. What are we doing now? Hang on, gotta recoup. Implement let expressions. Okay, so a let expression sort of looks like this. Let's go to our example txt. We don't have function yet, but it'd be something like let x. We would say let x equals 3d6 in, and then we could do if x greater than 10, then 0, because we don't have anything for else. And I'd probably want this to be indented a little bit. Else, if x is greater than 15, then 1, else 2. So this would be sort of like, we want x to take on a single value. So you need 3d6, and then we have a single value here. And so I'm going to use this creates what's called a local scope, so we can define a constant. We're going to call this a constant. It's not a variable because you can't change the value once it's assigned. But this value will get substituted into the expression on the right hand side. So first we find the symbol. So we're going to have like a lookup table for our values. And then we're going to store a value from the right side in, and then we have some scoping. So there's some interesting things when you're writing a let expression with scoping, because what do we do? So we're going to do let x equals 3d6 in, and then you might have an additional let, right? So you might have in, and we could say, since everything on the right hand side can be any expression, can also be a let expression. So we could let, what if we do x again? Should we allow that? Should we not allow it? What are we going to do? We'll see. So we can let y equals 3d6 in. So we might roll 2 dice, and then we'll say, okay, well, we'll call this player 1, player 2. And then you want to say, okay, if player 1 outrolled player 2, if player 1 is greater than player 2, then we do 1. And we can even do let current player equal, and then we could have this be our expression for the equal here. If player 1 greater than player 2, then 1, else 2. in, and then we have an in here, which is just evaluates the current player. So we can sort of actually start binding these things together as we go down in this way. Nerdwolf says, I used to work at a computer store, and I kid you not, every time I mentioned it goes to a cloud service, people would look up. Yeah, I always thought that was the term cloud service was very, very weird. I think they were trying to create a statement that sort of like encapsulated the idea of that it was everywhere, that you didn't have to worry about it just coming from the aether or something. They were trying to make it easy for people to understand, but I think it's a really confusing term that should have never caught on in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. Totally not in our own data center. Yeah, that's right. Totally not in our own data center. That's essentially what it means. But I think telling people that is that, you know, so the idea, it's interesting. So it's also a little bit that it's, the cloud tells you that it's going to be available on all of your devices all the time. So the cloud has this idea of like it's distributed. It's your data is actually distributed amongst thousands and thousands of servers and computers, and it can be accessed from anywhere in the world very easily. Yeah, so I just, you know, it's an interesting thought. That said, Revere, happy Wednesday, my friend. How are you doing? Folks, if you guys don't know, the incredible Revere is making a space trucking game, folks. Unforgiven Space. His goal is to beat Star Citizen's release. You gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. He's also an incredible 3D developer, 3D artist. You know, I'm Revere. I'm gonna get you to teach me some Blender this summer. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be, you know, Captain Coder Learns. My Captain Coder Learns series. Revere's gonna teach me how to use Blender, folks. So get ready for that, 'cause Revere's an incredible person. Revere, I hate to put you on the spot. I think I already asked you. You're gonna be one of our Unity tutors for the Game Jam. Is that fair to say? Unity/Blender tutors. I think I already talked to you about that. Is that true? Awesome. So folks, get ready for that. Revere's gonna be our tutor, a tutor/mentor. So if you want to learn a little bit of Blender, if you want to learn a little bit of Unity, and you want to learn something, don't forget, we got a Game Jam coming up, folks. Game Jam. Did I do a Game Jam command? We got a Game Jam command. We're doing the Learn You a Game Jam. Learn to create art. Learn to create code. Learn to make a game. Join the Game Jam. No experience necessary, folks. No experience necessary. I need to get a browser. I don't have a browser open yet. Gotta get a browser. Why there no thumbs up emote anywhere? I know, that drives me nuts. I always have to do it for my... But we got the Learn New Game Jam coming up June 17th to June 24th. The whole thing here, learn something new. Make a little simple... If you've never made a game before, make a simple little game. If you've never done pixel art before, do a little pixel art. Learn something new, learn a new tool. Anything goes on this. There will be a theme. I want anyone to be enter. There's gonna be $500 in prizes, folks. Discord has expired on the landing. Discord link has expired on the landing. What? So this one works though, correct? You mean on my Twitch page? Twitch, or on this page? This one is expired? Is this one expired? Is that what you're saying? Bummer. Okay, let's fix that real quick. Folks, bear with me real quick. We're gonna fix it. That's super weird. I swear I must have cleared it out on accident. One sec. Bear with me, folks. Grab your bear with me while we fix it. Let's come over here, see if we can figure out what's going on with that. Server settings. I think the invite links you can like reactivate. Server settings. And if I can't react it, because I do kind of like knowing, maybe I shouldn't care. I like knowing where my clicks are coming on these, because you can check it out here. It's just gone. Whoa, what? I wonder what happened to it. Biotest, I think you did a tag system, you say. Awesome. Info rules. Yeah, apparently I lost this invite. All right, we're gonna make a new invite. Revere for telling me about this amazing issue. Not this terrible issue, but thank you for your contributions. 50 points to you, my friend. Thank you so much for your help here. We're gonna create a new invite link. Edit invite link does not expire. Can I make it expire after the jam has ended? We'll just make it not expire. Copy. All right, we're gonna go update that real quick. Itch.io. Woot, that's right. Your bio test, you're working on a 3D virtual reality tag game, is that correct? So are you saying you're finished with it or you're close to being finished? I don't understand what you're saying here. Why is this link? Hang on. You finished it. Nice. You got is it available online or is it a download? You have to, oh, it gets it's VR, so it makes sense you kind of have to download it. Generate link, copy. Why? This is fascinating that the link it's giving me, even though I'm generating a new link, it doesn't give me a brand. That's annoying. I really wanted to have a unique link for this site, but looks like that's not possible. Edit. All right, well, that's okay. We're gonna come over here. I'm doing this off screen, folks. I gotta hide my secrets. Hide my secrets because I'm a streamer and I don't want people stealing my secrets. Here we go. We're gonna edit this here. There's a couple things that need to get fixed on this page as well. All right, we're gonna save that. Would it just be adding a new invite link or editing that one? This one for what? So this link doesn't exist anymore on my Discord. So I'm changing the link itself. There it goes. Link corrected. Link fixed. Perfect. All right. Revere, thank you so much for letting me know. I appreciate you. Thank you for your correction, my friend. Yeah, biotest, when you finally have a chance, feel free to send it on over. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it if you get a chance. All right, so back. All right, back to a regularly scheduled program, folks. All right, so we want to add in a let expression. So this is for doing locally scoped, essentially constants, labeled constants. Let expression. Okay. So we're gonna call this a let expression. And so let, and then we have a label, string label. All right, so we have a string label. Let, so it's gonna be let label equal expression in expression, and we substitute anywhere we see this label in here. Ooh, we need two things. We need a let expression. We need a new value type. New value type is identifier. All right, and we need an identifier. Identifier. Why identify? Identify. Why does identifier look so weird to me? Oh, your stuff is gone. What happened? What do you mean your stuff is gone? What do you mean? Was your code not backed up somewhere? All right, so we need in addition to this, we need a public record identifier value. And it's gonna have a string label and an I value. Yeah, so we're gonna do, we'll evaluate the value. All right, here. And this is going to be do I want this to be, at the very least, it needs to be an expression, an I expression. For now, we're gonna return null. Return null, and we will implement this interface. Wow, it says basically my Unity just went, nah, we ain't loading your stuff, and basically the scene corrupted. Wait, I used plastic SCM. I have a backup. Fantastic. This is why I always say you got to be using a repository to save your code, save your project. So if you lose something, at least you don't lose the whole thing. You can always go back to a point in time where it did work. Hopefully you didn't lose too much progress. I hope you didn't lose too much progress. So we're gonna have a label value. Oh no, this doesn't have, it's literally just a label. The identifier value doesn't have a value with it. We have to like look that value up. Strong Bad said version control is a must-learn skill. Absolutely, it's one of those absolutely in my mind, absolutely necessary. You know, you normally call it a soft skill because it's related to programming, but it's not a programming skill. Just like command line, I think command line basics are a necessary one. Strong Bad, absolutely. Version control is a must-learn skill. I had to write this whole thing, so I was an expert witness on a software case, on a software trial, and I had to write this giant document for trying to explain how Git and GitHub worked to a generic jury. It was a fascinating experience writing this thing out and trying to get lawyers to understand it. I remember the lawyer going like, wow, this is this repository, this Git thing sounds amazing. I should be using that for all of my documents. I was like, yeah, it's mostly for code, but absolutely would work for documents that change over time because it tracks all your changes. And the lawyers were like super interested in it. Unknown error occurred while loading asset scene, sample scene Unity. It's only your scene. That's a bummer. Do you have a previous version of your scene you can find? Great for art with Git large file support. That's interesting. I'd feel like art isn't that particularly good something for using Git. Terrible with art using Git long file support. Cause it doesn't. Well, Git takes snapshots, so I guess you could have older versions of it. I don't know. I'm hard to tell. Moona says terrible with art using Git LFS. You always have latest revision. I think with art you can like go back in time and still pull out some other stuff. I think it would work really well with like vector graphics, but I don't know for sure. I'm glad it helped, Bio. I'm glad it helped. Okay, so our let expression. This tells me we need like a context. We need like some sort of global context where we have to store our labels. That said, because the way our let expression works, all right, so our let expression has a label, and then it has the value expression, and then this is the this is the actual expression, body expression. So we have our label. So maybe we don't need a lookup table because we're just gonna propagate this down. Once we get into functions though, we're probably gonna have to have a lookup table. I'm gonna keep thinking about it, keep working through this, see if we can get it working. When it says Git LFS has a lot of issues when you work in teams and files easily get about messed up with LFS, and WIP files won't work as they can be too big for the 100 megabyte limit. I haven't had a lot of trouble. I've worked on teams. I haven't worked on game dev teams. So from right here, it's like a challenge if you have two people working on the same asset. For web development projects and projects that have lots of art and graphs and stuff, I have had no real issue with Git LFS, but I've not done it that much. If you have multiple people working, you can't do merges on binary data is basically what it comes down to. And so it's not meant to do merges on things that are binary, essentially, which is like images. Ken says, hello, hope everybody's doing well today. I'm doing fabulously well. Ken, thank you so much for thank you so much for being here. How are you on this BEA Beautiful Wednesday, my friend? Moon says it also takes forever to upload anything to Git that has a larger file size than 100 kilobytes. I actually haven't had issues with the big file uploads, in my opinion. I personally have not had issues. Desired state, what's up, Des? In my experience, 99% of the time, if someone is using LFS, they should just be using something like an S3 bucket or something instead. That's always an option too. If you want to keep your revisions though, so say you're working on some art and you want to keep revision of that art, is there a reason you wouldn't want to do that? S3 or some other bucket I've used for like big CSV database dump, that sort of thing. I wouldn't want to put that in a repository. When it says specifically game dev and Git LFS, using something like Classic SCM is like night and day. Things upload immediately and you can't have large files. Oh, and you can have large files. Doing pretty decent myself, Ken says. Spent yesterday doing design work, so now I'm coding up a prototype. What is your prototype? What are you working on, Ken? I'd love to know more. Have you shared? I'm just curious, Ken, if you want to share, you can. You don't have to. I'm really curious what you're sharing. Curious what you're working on, since you're saying you spent doing some design work. G says, yeah, most art and images are binary. Yeah. Even SVGs, the binary on it is if you're like using like Inkscape, it like jumps around how it works. But if you're like doing, I don't know, I suspect SVGs would work reasonably well in sourcing, in a revision history tool. You're asked, what's the pricing on Plastic? It's free up to X gigs. Oh, is it free up to X gigs? Ken says, I haven't really shared much of my work. I've mostly been working on tools, so now I'm building a game to test them out. Awesome. What type of tools? What type of game? 3D game? 2D game? Just curious. Let's see. Muna says, I think it's free using up to like 5 gigabytes. Oh, that's reasonable. Muna says, it's free. You can use another version that's paid though. SVG is text. That's right, G. SVG is text. What I was saying is, depending on your editor, if you're moving chunks, so like let's say you edit the SVG, how much of the code is regenerated and changed would be the question. So it might work well. I'm not sure. I know Inkscape, say we move something around, it might reappear in a different order, and then you'd run into like some weird revision stuff there. Git and revision control typically is for like manually edited text files and merging those together. Strunkbad says, I'm learning semantic HTML at the moment because I have to build a website that screen readers can use. Ooh, really cool. A fun little fact, I learned to read Braille like 2 years ago, and that was a fun experience. Reading Braille, it turns out, isn't that wild. It took me about 4 hours to be able to read Braille. That said, I couldn't read it really fast, but I have a Braille reader. You can hook it up to a phone or a computer or anything, and it'll like read it changes. The Braille will pop up and change as you read it. It's really cool. Like I said, it took me about 4 hours to learn to read Braille. Another like 6 to 8 hours. So there's like an extended version of Braille. Was super fun experience. I have, at the time I had this really bad vertigo that lasted like 8 weeks and I couldn't read. And so I was like, I'm just going to learn Braille. So it was an excuse to make me do it. Total Eclipse says, new to C# and .NET, best testing service for web APIs. Fantastic question, Total Eclipse. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the crew. I am also very new to C# and .NET myself. I've been using it for 2 years, something like that. Best testing service. That's a good question. I'm not sure what the best testing service. Do you mean for like doing curl requests or writing unit tests, integration tests? What type of testing are you looking for specifically? I personally, for unit test, use XUnit, which is fabulous. I love XUnit. NUnit's another option. But ask, what type of testing are you looking for specifically? Integration testing, end-to-end testing, unit testing. There's a bunch of different types. I'm a Django Dev, but looking for test-driven development new to .NET in the past 3 weeks. I highly recommend XUnit. XUnit is what I use. That's what most people use. So all of my tests here you can see are written in XUnit. So I have my testing framework over here. I like XUnit. NUnit's another option if you're going to be doing any kind of Unity or game development. Unity specifically uses NUnit, is like built in, so you can use XUnit. It's a little tricky, but NUnit is the other option. Most people use XUnit. Let's close that. XUnit, XUnit, C# and .NET. I love XUnit. It's fantastic. Here's a link to XUnit, my friend. Good question. Highly recommend it for doing unit testing. Great support for anything you might want. And then if you're doing mock C#, if you're doing mocking in your unit testing, mock is the tool to do. So I use .NET and XUnit and mock for most of the stuff. Good question. So mock will let you mock services pretty easily as well. So you can test out your APIs and stuff without having to set up a web server. Let's see here, get caught up on the chat. But it says, then you're probably paying extra for space on GitHub. That's not true. I do pay GitHub. I have an organizational account. I do pay for that, but as long as your stuff is open, public and open, I don't think there's that much of a limit. You might have like 1 gigabyte limit or something per repository. But I think they might have removed that. Moona says, Revere says, nope, I have my repo on a server here at the house, which also mirrors to a server running in the OVH data center. Moona says, you can run a local server for plastic SVNs as well. I think that's free. Revere says, ooh, I'll look into that. Bio, my phone screen broke. That's a bummer, my friend. How did it break? Strong Bad saying, yeah, it's for my sister. She has a board game company that is for blind people. That is awesome. Strong Bad. Can you share a link one sec? Permit. Strong Bad. I'm super into, maybe this is the wrong word, but I find blind culture fascinating. Ever since I got into reading Braille, I've sort of followed blind culture a little bit more. I'd love to know more. If you would send a link, I would absolutely bookmark and check that out. That's awesome. I have a bunch of like playing cards and board games specifically made for blind people that I have used with when I was in person. I'd use them with my students to talk about, like, okay, encoding binary is one way to encode stuff. I'm gonna bookmark this. I gotta come back to it. Thank you so much for sharing, Strong Bad, for sharing this amazing resource, for doing something so awesome. 200 points to you, my friend. I totally appreciate it. I'm gonna check this out when I'm done streaming. I appreciate you being here today. Mooniz says, I haven't looked into it, but only seen it mentioned, so can't say anything about it. Let's see here. Ken says, doing a 2D game to start. Basically, I've made a system for loading and building things from JSON with a large amount of modularity. What are you programming in, Ken? I'm just curious. Total Eclipse says, past 3 months. Sorry, I missed that. No, that's fine. I've only been doing it for, like, I say 20 months. Where at the end of this month, it'll be 20 months. I'm approaching 2 years, I think. Desired State says, GitHub, Microsoft don't want your code. How else could they train Copilot and being exactly. Gotta feed the beast. Feed the beast, folks. Strong Bad says, Nerdwaffle, click the site, it explains what's gonna happen. Nerdwaffles, thanks. I will look into this. Seems interesting. I swear I saw DevDad say something. Was the DevDad here? Did I miss it? Or did my brain just see it? Ken says, using it in Unity. Gotcha. I thought I saw DevDad say hump day. Oh, did the auto mod take that off or something? Happy hump day, DevDad says. Did I just miss it? There it is. Happy hump day, DevDad. Happy Wednesday, my friend. Folks, if you guys don't know the DevDad, I'm gonna get it wrong. I always get it wrong. It's just DevDad. DevDad in the building. That's right. The DevDad is astounding, absolutely amazing software developer, streamer, father, the trifecta, folks. He's building a productivity app called Embedder in his spare time, and you can watch it all unfold on his stream. What are you waiting for? Click that little heart. Folks, it's easy. It's easy. All you gotta do is click the heart, and you'll get a notification when the DevDad is devin instead of dadding. Amazing guy, fantastic developer, productivity app. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm gonna use it. DevDad. Strong Bet says, I woke up too late to the stream this morning. I didn't catch the end of your stream. I was like, where's the dev? I was like, where's the DevDad? The DevDad's not here. Son woke up early, had to stop. Devin had to start dadding. But DevDad, thank you so much for being here. Love having you here. And folks, before we continue here, Total Eclipse is our latest crew member. And so you know what that means. Total Eclipse of the... I would love to be able to do Total Eclipse. Every now and then I get another follower and it's Total Eclipse. Every now and then I get another follower and it's Total Eclipse. It's a terrible song. We're gonna try again. Total Eclipse is in the stream and you followed me today. Yeah. Total Eclipse. Following the Captain Coder, thank you. Total Eclipse, thank you so much for following, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the crew. I am Captain Coder. I'm a computer science educator. I work at a school for ages 10 to 14, but the stream is dedicated to learning and coding and growing together as a crew. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I love questions. Don't have to be programming related either. Just keep them PG-11. This is a family-friendly stream. And backseat coding is encouraged. I've learned so much when people backseat code, so do not hesitate. If you see something, say something. If you want to see something, say something. Because I love having you guys here. All right, so we're in the process of writing these let expressions, which requires us to have these identifier expression, which is interesting. So parsing the identifier expression is going to be interesting. It kind of gives you some insight into why some languages have like a $sign in front of their variables to evaluate them. We're going to try not to do that. But we're going to take a look here. Evaluate should almost do nothing. So to evaluate it, we just get back a value. Okay, so it's also an I value, like this. So let's add that in there. I think it's an identifier value. Really, come on, implement it. Why can't I implement you? All right, let's go. We're just gonna still this. Let expression, our ival. We need these things. We kind of, it's a little bit of a struggle to do to an int, to a bool on these. So there's a little bit of something. I gotta return negative. Throw not supported. We're just gonna throw not supported for now. Throw not supported exception, which isn't quite right, because if the underlying thing happens to be, so instead, pretty print is just going to be the label, like this. And then my I value sort of needs to have an additional type here. It says public I value, like lookup or something, because we have an identifier value, so it's like a lookup, and then this sort of needs to take in something. We're gonna play around with this. We'll see what happens when we get there. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna implement it, but I don't know that we actually have to have a lookup table just yet. We'll see. So identifier value, we'll have a value under the hood when it gets evaluated. We're gonna keep going here. This may not be an expression. It might just be an identifier. It might just be a value type. Total Clip says, that's awesome. I'm a self-taught dev that broke into the industry 2 years ago. Congratulations, following a career change. So keep up the mission to help other people. I've been there before. Congratulations on breaking into the industry. It can be tough to get there. Strong Bad replying to Total says, I'm in the learning phase, but that's my direction. Strong Bad, I'm excited to see your journey, my friend, because you've been doing some awesome stuff. I've seen you on the DevDad stream sharing the stuff you've been working on. Sounds like you're super committed. I love that. Totally Clips replies to Strong Bad. It's a tough road, but definitely worth it. It took me a lot of time and determination, but I absolutely love my job here. Congratulations, Totally Clips. I'm glad to hear it. What's your job? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to share. Is your job C# and .NET? I'm just curious. DevDad says, don't let Strong Bad trick you. He skipped the learning phase and boom, went straight to the career phase. All right, so when we evaluate this thing, we sort of do a substitution into our expression. So we have this label here. We're gonna pull the label out. When we evaluate the let expression, we get an I value, a value. So we're not gonna lazily wait. We're gonna go ahead and evaluate value expression. Value exper dot evaluate. And then we're actually gonna parse through. We need to go into this body expression and we need to replace, we need to substitute all instances of this label with this value. That's one way to do it. The alternative would be to keep a dictionary, and then when we get down to the value later, when we actually go to evaluate the label, we can look it up in some sort of lookup table. So I'm trying to decide if that is what I want. So an identifier value, does it have a value associated with it? I'm trying to decide what approach I want to take here. What are the semantics of my language for doing substitution? Do I want to recur all the way into all of these and apply a substitution? Or do I want to have a table that I can look up during evaluation? That's a question I need to answer. Strongman says, only DevDad can gaslight me like that. Sorry. Total Eclipse says, full stack dev, originally Django React dev, and have taken on new internal projects that I was able to try out some different frameworks. Gotcha. Started with Mern, then your Django, and then .NET. Gotcha. I haven't used Django. I've used Python. I used Flask for several years, which is Django's like what is called like a batteries included. It has all this stuff. It's a whole framework for doing it. Flask is a much lighter weight web API type thing. And then so the application we worked on was Flask back end, and then on the front end was an Angular application. And so Flask, more opinionated and batteries included compared to Flask. I really like Flask when I write little tiny APIs for myself for testing stuff. Flask's my go-to because bam, you can get an API up in a couple minutes. Especially if you're using something like what is it called? Swagger. It used to be called Swagger. Is called something else. Swagger IO. It's called single source of truth. Oh, is it not free anymore? Swagger standardization. Anyway, yeah, Swagger is what we use. Boom, run a little thing, you get your whole front end, the front end for the API. Yeah, Swagger, we'd use it for generating our we'd have like an API. What is it called? That's like open identifier, some. Dead says, by the way, all I checked out. Oh yeah, thank you for coming over to Offstars. It's great seeing you there yesterday, DevDad. Full of gold and to the point. Join the Discord to catch the next one. Yeah, absolutely, folks. We don't have there's not one scheduled. But we do office hours over on the Discord. We have Discord exclusive streams, a little bit lower key, more intimate. But yesterday we did office hours on delegates in C#. So I kicked it off with a little lesson on delegates in C#. It's about 30 minutes for little office hours. And we opened up for questions. And then we went over into the Hangout and Code for like 3 or 4 hours. It was wonderful hanging out with all of you guys on the Discord yesterday. So thank you guys for coming. If you missed it, I'll be editing this video, but if you missed it, you can check out the raw version. The raw version over on the Discord. Hop over there and you can watch the little lesson that I gave. If you're confused, if you're curious what a delegate is in C# and how to use them, I did a little stream for it. And let's see, let me see if the repo, GitHub, Captain Coder office hours. We have a repository for our office hours too. If you want the lesson, you can also check out the lesson here on GitHub if you prefer reading to watching videos. I personally prefer reading. It's a little easier for me to follow along. But that video, I'm hoping to chop it up, edit it down, and post on YouTube as a little tutorial for delegates in C#. Amazing stuff. Delegates, I've been using them a lot in this project. I use them a lot in all of my projects because it's sort of a functional style, but they're useful all over the place. Pattywack says, hey, do you have this on GitHub? I decided to retackle the Crafting Interpreter's book using parser combination, and I'm a bit of a loss. How to translate it, the token stream into AST. Yeah, let's see. Do I have a dice link here? I don't have it listed here. I need to update that command. Absolutely, all of my projects are open source. Captain Coder dice link. Yeah, here it is. Here's the link to it. I'm gonna update that on the. Feel free to check it out. You can use it. It's a copy left. Most of my licenses are copy left, so it means you can use it free of charge. Just be careful if you put it into another project. It makes that project copy left as well. I'll be adding a license to it when we're done here. But typically I use like a non-commercial copyleft license for a lot of these things for educational purposes. You might convince me to change it from copyleft though. Okay. So we evaluate this. That's the easy part. And then we have to evaluate this expression body, but we substitute something in. So I'm trying to decide what are the semantics that I want. Do I want a lookup table? Substitution feels like the easiest way to do it. But then I have to write a substitution part, like recursive substitution into all of these. So I'm trying to decide if that's what I want to do. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. Okay, because then I don't have to have a lookup table. I don't have to have a lookup table if we do the I expression with a substitute. And that would be the purely functional way to do it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So our I expression needs to have, so all of our expressions need to know, okay, when I substitute something, how do I do it? All right, so public substitute, public void substitute. It's going to take in a string label and an I value to sub. So this is going to propagate our value and substitute it into all of our sub expressions. This is going to require a huge refactor, not necessarily a huge refactor. We have a lot of expressions. We're going to have to add this into those expressions. And so pretty much all of these are now going to be bothered to do this. That said, let me think here. So the I value to sub, we basically need to check. It should be easy because then the only thing is all these things just keep pushing it down. Yeah. So this won't be that bad. This won't be that bad. We just got to go do it. So the main reason we're doing this is so our I expression. Oh, this needs to return a new I expression. It says, okay, well, when we evaluate this thing, the expression needs to get swapped out with the new expression. So we're going to do a substitute. This label with this value. Okay, so let's see if we can make that make sense. It really drives me nuts when that doesn't auto work there. But still this. So we want to substitute. So basically the way the substitution works, it says if the label is equal to the label. So if these are the same labels, then we're going to return to sub. And should this return an I value? I feel like it should return an I expression. I value. We'll go with I expression to sub. Here, let's see if this will work. I expression, and I might have to go back to my language theory book to make this work. Substitute, return to sub. Otherwise, we just return this. Okay, so for the most part, this thing is going to just be recursive. So in our let expression, this is the other spot where it's sort of important to be. This is where the scoping becomes important. Again, I don't know why it won't let me just do the implement. I don't know why the implement auto thing is not working there. Again, there's a question of when we do the substitute. So the question I have to ask is, should we allow the following? Should we allow the following? So this would be like my language here. Should I allow let x equals 5 in? Can I redefine x equals 7 in? So the question is, if we see x again, most programming languages say, well, we already have a thing called x, you can't do that. So most programming languages are going to throw an exception. Or not as an exception, it's going to be a parsing error, or it's going to essentially be some kind of, usually a parser or a compilation error saying this thing already exists. So I'm going to make this for now if the labels match, it says, hey, this means I previously had a let expression with this label, and when I went to evaluate, I found another one. And so the question is, do we want to allow shadowing or not? And so in this case, we're going to say we're just not going to allow this. It's going to be for now, we're going to do a throw an exception, but eventually we would return an evaluation exception, I think. And our parser might be able to catch this for us. Throw new, I'm just going to go with exception for now. I should do my own. So this eventually will need to be like a dicelang error. And it's going to say that label is already defined. All right. So we basically found this label twice. We had two let expressions with it. If we don't see the same label, we just sort of propagate this down into our value expression and our body expression. So in this case, we're going to return a new let expression. So it's just a copy of ourselves with not with this label, but with our original label. So we're just going to substitute this in with the value expression. We need to substitute in the label that we're getting and the to sub. So we're going to just sort of, we propagate it through, we swap them all out as we go down. And then on the same thing with the body expression, our body expression needs to get that substituted in as well. When we get to functions, we will have scoping there. We will allow you to have that type of scoping override the let expression. Excellent question, DevDad. So let me talk about that. Let me finish this substitution. That is going to require a slightly different type of substitution, but yes, we want to support that. It's very, very important to support that to be Turing complete. This is the ambiguity here. It says, okay, we have let x. I don't want that. This seems like something that we need to tell the programmer, hey, you've already defined x, just so you know, and almost all programming language will stop you from doing this. But we also want to have some, so I'm not sure what my syntax is gonna look like. It's probably gonna look like this. Let function, so we might not, let's let function f equals x, and then on this side, x plus 7, and then we'd have an in, and then you do fun of 5, right? Something like this, maybe fun, let's do fun of 7. This x should be 7. So this is a slightly different type of substitution called shadowing. So we actually end up shadowing this, and we will go into this, and we're gonna substitute 7, or some expression you could do like 3d6 plus 9 here, 3d6 plus x. So we actually will evaluate this and then push that down into our function there. Oh, this shouldn't be fun, this should be f. And so there's some trickiness here on how to do it. Denny asks, Captain, do you know an easy way of doing with double overflow? For context, I'm making a parallelized program to compute the Fibonacci sequence, and I run into double overflow at around 200. Double overflow. I understand overflow. I don't quite understand when you say double. I don't know if I've heard double overflow. Double overflow. You mean when you're using doubles instead of integers? Is that what you mean, a double overflowing? Is that what you mean? When you say double overflow, I'm curious what you mean there. The doubles are not big enough. So doubles have a limited size. Doubles, depending on your language, it's gonna have a limited size. So doubles, folks, are floating double size in C#. There's a limited number of things. So double are massive. We can get up to the power of the 308th, but then we run into trouble. Anything bigger than that, it's gonna just overflow and probably will say infinity. In most cases, it's gonna say infinity. We'd also get extremely tiny numbers, but they're approximations. So that's one thing that's, you gotta understand about doubles is they're approximate numbers. They're not actual, very precise numbers. Depending on your language, you might have some, so if you're in Java, you have something called big. decimal that you could use that has arbitrary precision decimals. They're very slow. They're very tricky to use. That said, this is like a really challenging problem. It depends on like, what are you going for? Are you going for accuracy? Are you going for speed? How much space do you want to do? If you're in a programming language like C or C++, maybe in C++, I don't know for sure. In C, you can actually say like a double, and then you'll actually get yourself, rather than 64 bits, you'll get yourself 120 bits. And you can like change the size. So the question is like, how high do you want to go? And how much work do you want to do on it? A big decimal type might be worth looking into if you're just trying to get as big as you can. Big decimal in C#. I don't think there's built-in one. What is the equivalent of big decimal in C#? I don't think they have one. Arbitrary precision decimals came across this post. I don't know that they have it. But essentially, you're looking for, if you want to deal with it in a context where you have infinite accuracy, arbitrary precision. Yeah, Denny says it's in C++ and ideally as high as you can. Okay, C++ arbitrary precision floating point. This is probably the search, big floats. This may or may not be what you're looking for. It's recently arbitrary floating point. Again, keep in mind, this is going to be slow. This is going to be slow because you're doing, maybe they might have implemented it in a very clever way, but this will give you arbitrary precision. And so you can actually be like, okay, well, I need it to be bigger. I need more bits. I need more bits. It also could be a chance to do a fun exercise where you use, you define your own, under the hood, your own Mantisa operations and explore that. It could be a really cool opportunity to explore implementing your own big float, but you are looking for specifically arbitrary precision floating point. And someone correct me if I'm wrong. This would be my approach. There might be a better way to do it. I'm okay with that. The whole point of the module is to parallelize and explore the performance improvements. Strunkbad says JavaScript allows huge numbers, makes for the start of a good incremental game. Yeah, JavaScript has numbers are arbitrary, I believe, by default. I don't think there's a limit. That said, when you start getting to numbers outside of the double range, things start getting particularly slow. Give something to go off. Denny, fantastic question, my friend. I hope it's helpful I'm sure many people have similar questions or it's something new for them. So for asking such a wonderful question, Denny, 50 points to you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. And the Dev Dad asked a fantastic question as well. The Dev Dad, for asking about scoping, 50 points to you as well, my friend. Thank you for participating. We love having you here. Let's keep going here. We're almost done. There's some refactoring I gotta do. The substitute makes sense to me here. We take the label, we pass it in, we check if it is this label, we blow up on the let, and if we get all the way down to an identifier value, we substitute in, if it's the same label, we actually substitute that expression in to it there. The evaluate on the expression at the end of the day, if we actually try to evaluate an identifier, we actually should say, this should be an exception that says, we encountered an encountered label, identifier that was not set, essentially. So we have an identifier without a let, without a let binding. All right, there we go. Caddy Rabsi. I'm so sorry for butchering that, but we got a new crew member, folks. Kadira Vici. I'm gonna go with Kadira Vici, which can't possibly be correct, so I apologize, but we gotta give you an intro. If I'm saying it incorrectly, please let me know. Kadira Vici 83 is here. Yes, Kadira Vici 83. We've got Kadira Vici 83. I'd like to thank you for joining the crew. Yeah. Kadira Vici, welcome aboard. We've got Kadira Vici. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Kadira Vici. I'm butchering that name, but I'd like to thank you for following me. Kadira Vici, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coder's Academy. Need Job Coder 123. Welcome, my friend. So nice to see you here on this BEA beautiful day. How are you on this beautiful Wednesday, my friend? Strunkbad says, I imagine Dev Dad jogging while listening to stream and typing during his rest. Yes, indeed. Eel Tarsking said, could have done the intro to Cruella de Vil. What? How does that one go? I'm missing it in my head. What are the lyrics to the Cruella de Vil? I could have done the intro to the Cruella de Vil song. I forget it. I've heard 101 Dalmatians. Ace, welcome back, my friend. Need Job Coder. The singing is nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Every time we got a new crew member, we like to give him a little intro, my friend. Muniz, are you typing 40 words per minute? Yeah, good question. Ace, so happy to have you here. 50 words per minute this morning. Boom. See how quick, has it even been a week? You're getting up there. I always say once you're at 60, like everything after that's just icing on the cake. 60 is like faster than your brain can usually think when you're coding, in my opinion. Todd Makes Game says, howdy, welcome. If she doesn't scare you, you know that no evil thing will. All right, we gotta, look, I'm gonna get DMCA'd on this if I look it up. I'm gonna listen to it when I go get my coffee break. Todd Makes Games though, howdy, welcome back, welcome aboard. Welcome to the crew once again, Todd, so nice to see you here. So ideally, when we get to an identifier value during evaluation, it should no longer be an identifier because it should have been substituted in with some expression. So that's essentially what should happen. There's an interesting thing here. This is where like a type checker would be super nice to have as you're doing stuff. This is where we're gonna start getting weird. We can start getting weird things happening. I gotta figure out. Yeah. So we can't turn this to a 2 int. We can't turn it to a tuple, but we pretty much to just the label. Okay. Whew. Need Job says, I just type like the average coder, indeed. G says, when I play games, I tend to be faster at the keyboard than typing, though. True. Let's see, how long? I think we got to take a break, folks. We're right at I missed the 90-minute counter. So folks, we got to take a break. I'm out of bean water. I'm almost out of there. I'm practically out of real water. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna get some bean water. I'm gonna get some regular water. We're gonna hydrate. We're gonna do well. When I come back, folks, you know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen. We're gonna get some stretching in. So get ready for that. If you're at work, get your coworker, say, hey, it's time for a break. It's break time, everybody get up. We're gonna stretch together with the captain. If you're at home, wake up your mom, wake up your dad. They need to stretch too. Get little Billy, get little Susie in the room, get your uncle in the room. Maybe your aunt wants to stretch with us. But the captain shall return, so prepare yourself for a stretch. All right, everybody, the Captain Coder's back. I hope you enjoyed Mooniz flexing those skills, those typing skills. Mooniz, I don't think there's enough space for all those muscles in this chat, my friend. But folks, if you guys don't know who Mooniz is an incredible streamer working on a Metroidvania base game on his stream. Incredible stuff. You're doing Ludum Dare this weekend, is that correct? Folks, you gotta give him some love. Hit that little heart. Check out that stream. Good stuff over there. He taught me everything I know about Unity. But we're back here. We're back in the action, folks. I've got myself some bean water. A little too hot to drink right now. So we're going to take a little stretch break, folks. And I got Cruella de Vil stuck in my head. If she doesn't scare you, then no evil thing will. Thank you so much for the recommendation. Reminding me to look it up. Teal Tars King. You gotta add that to my repertoire. Daniel's in the house, folks. Daniel, welcome back. You're just in time for some stretching. Everybody, get on up. Get on up, because we gotta stretch. Look, the captain loves you, which means you should love you. And if you love you
in the back, pay attention.
You in the back, pay attention, folks. My hair's doing a weird thing here this morning. Look at that. But get on up. We're gonna do some stretches. We also got Darkman. Yo, Darkman, thanks for popping into the Hangout and Code yesterday. It was so nice to see you. But get on up, folks. We're going to do some stretches. We're going to do some stretchy stretches. We're going to start out stretching out that forearm. I'm going to take care of it. If you're like me, you're a code and troll. You're getting those repeated stress injuries just from working all day at a computer. Get on up. Take care of yourselves. We're going to stretch out those forearms. Take those palms. Push them together. You're going to bring it down until you feel a little bit of tension here and here. Should be no pain in your wrist. No pain in your wrist. No pain anywhere, really. Should just be a nice little tension. Once you feel some tension, stop. If you're not feeling tension by the time you get here, you can go ahead and push out and away till you get that tension in those forearms, folks. Oh, doesn't it feel good? Moon says it's not a base game anymore, just a Metroidvania. Very well. I gotta fix that. I gotta update that. Streaming most of Ludum Dare this weekend. Fantastic. Looking forward to catching that as much as I can. Luna says, I had to verify the speed as well, and I managed to get 113 on the verification. I didn't know I was that fast. Look, Mooniz, you're number one at typing. You're number one in my heart, and you got the number 1 points. Number 1 points, folks. Hold this for another 5 seconds, and we're going to go ahead and release. And rotate those wrists out. Taking care of it. Is this a healthy stretch for carpal? I became more aware of, yes, this is a very, very good one if you have carpal and to help prevent it. Stretching out the forearms is really good. This is another one I'd love to do for the carpal. You take your hand, we're stretching across the top here. You should feel the tension in the top. I have carpal tunnel on this side. So this is essentially what my, when I was doing physical therapy, I had a trainer, this is sort of the stretch they'd have me do. So you take this, you pull it down, you stretch across the top here. If you don't want pain in the wrist though, so if you're pulling back toward yourself, you'll get some pain. If you're pulling forward, you'll get some pain. Just sort of straight down until you get a little bit, as soon as you have any tension, to stop at that moment. Oh, feel it. Oh, so lovely. We're gonna hold this for 20 more seconds, folks. Jackman says, nice time to exercise because I'm going to start with the new game. Fabulous. Did you decide on, I think you called it Dark Survival? Is that right? Or what is it? It's a survival type game. Daniel says, I'm about to start streaming in 20 minutes. Awesome. What game are you playing, Daniel? I missed the last several of them. I haven't had a chance. My new work schedule makes it harder to catch your streams. But what game are you playing this time? Go and roll that wrist out, folks. We're going to switch to the other side now. Oh, I love this stretch. It's so good. This side, go ahead and pull down a little bit. Again, straight down to get a little bit of tension and avoid any pain. If you have any pain in the wrist, go ahead and stop. Keeping a straight arm can also help, but try not to lock the elbow because it will cut off blood flow, and we don't want to do that. Metal Gear Solid 5, Daniel says, the Phantom Pain on YouTube. I have that game. I've never played it. I've wanted to play it. I love the stealth games like I remember the Metal Gear games being so good. How do you like it? Kit Awesomes, I have an interview for a new job in 20 minutes. I loved hanging out with you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Kit's awesome wife, I appreciate you being here today. I hope your interview goes your way. Thank you for watching. Kit's awesome. I've had a beautiful day. Go ahead and roll that wrist out, folks. Roll that wrist out. We're gonna do some shoulder rolls next. Do some shoulder rolls. We're gonna bring first bring the shoulders up, down, and back. I'm gonna roll here and back. 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arm. 2, 3, 4, bring it forward. Ooh, 2, 3, 4, with the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arm. 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, shake it out, folks. And with that, we're gonna do a stretch. We're gonna hang down, deep breath in, and exhale. As you exhale, slowly roll down, hinge at the hips. You wanna hinge at the hips and hang. Keep those legs straight, maybe it's slightly bent. You do wanna avoid locking, and if you lock those legs, cut off that blood flow. You don't wanna do that, you don't wanna faint. And just hang, folks. Oh. Don't try to arch your back, instead focus on that hinge. And we're stretching feel it in your glutes, in your gluteus maximus, and your lower back. Glute and lower back stretch. Oh, just hang in for 15 more seconds. And we're gonna come back into it, folks. Oh, so good. And we're gonna breathe in for 5 seconds here and in. Slowly roll up. 2, 3, 4. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me in those stretches. The captain loves you, which means you should love you. And if you love, you gotta love that body. And if you love that body, gotta take care of it. 50 points to all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking care of yourselves. Let's go ahead and hop back into the code here. I gotta reset my timer here. So I gotta try not to forget. Daniel, 6,975 points. Awesome, my friend. Reset. Break, and we're gonna hop back in, folks. Don't forget, take a break every 60 minutes, every 2 hours tops. I go in between 90 minutes. 90 minutes is where I've been going. All right, so we're working on this let expression. I'm gonna have to update. I'm gonna have a lot of errors here, but the main idea is when we evaluate a let expression, we evaluate the value part. That would be this, we'll call this V expert value expert, and this is body expert. And then we're gonna substitute that value into the body. What's interesting is I want to evaluate it, but I'm supposed to pass an expression in. So part of me is like, I'm having a little trouble here. I don't want to, because I want it to evaluate once. This is the semantics here. But I need to propagate this down. And so part of me thinks like maybe I'll have a little thing where I can figure out which value it is. But the easy way to do it would be body expression.substitute, and we're going to substitute our label in with our value. And this is where I'm struggling, is I kind of need like an evaluated expression thing so I can like propagate this down in there, or my values need to be expressions themselves. And so a part of me thinks maybe my values should be expressions, and I'm not sure. Edward Susanto. Edward. I'd like to welcome you to the crew. Oh yeah, we've got Edward. Yes, Edward, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you so much for following me. Yes, Edward, welcome to the crew. And we also got the Grumpy Game Dev here in the chat, folks. Folks, if you don't know, Grumpy. The Grumpy Game Dev, folks, is, well, a grumpy game dev. If you're looking for a stream where a madman creates retro-style games, look no further. He makes games and kicks you off his long in space. Gotta go check out the Grumpy Game Dev, folks. The Grumpy Game Dev. Give him some love. Love the Grumpy Game Dev. Happy Wednesday, Grumpy. It was so nice catching your stream this morning. How are you? How's your day been going? How's your day going? I hope it's been a beautiful day. Darkman says, should I make the start island randomly generated or the same? I love games that are procedurally generated. It would be easier to make it the same. So there's a question you ask is, if you do it randomly generated, what makes it interesting, right? If you hard build it, you can actually make it fun. You can guarantee the fun and the interestingness. The random generation can be difficult to do. Grumpy Games says, getting some breakfast before beginning work. Gotta eat to win. All right, so I think my values, can I just say that my values are also expressions? I've kind of already done this with all of them. And so I think I'm gonna be there. Daniel, try exclamation point redeem. I think, all right, let me double check here, but I think this is Stone Guardian. Is that who, I can never quite remember this name, but you've been here several times. Are you Stone Guardian? To English. I copied too much here. Guardian Stone, I was so close. This is what I want. Welcome back, Guardian Stone. It's nice to see you again. So if I do this, I have so many errors here. All right, we gotta fix some of this stuff. Throw new not implemented exception. We gotta come back here. I have a lot of errors. Let's try .NET build. Because we just added, all right, so the reason we have a lot of errors is we've added substitute and we have to propagate this down. Only 6 errors, that's surprising. Our substitute needs to get propagated throughout our code. So if I go over to my binary operator, I can do a substitute on this. All right, format here. And the substitute, just basically, we're gonna take and say, well, I can't just do this. I was really hoping I could do it here. I gotta do it in each subclass because it needs to know which one it is. What I could do is I could do a protected abstract. So I have a delegate here that is a function that given a binary, let me think here. So let me do the annoying thing and put this in the subclasses, and you'll see why this is a little bit annoying. Redeem. What are you trying to redeem, Daniel? You gotta specify what you redeem. Or did I miss a redeem? Daniel. Did I miss your redeem? I missed it. What did you redeem, Daniel? Daniel, I'm sorry if I missed your redeem. Let me see if I can give you some redemption. Okay. I don't know why this should... All right, let's reload our window. VS Code's a little finicky, folks. It's a little finicky. Replying to this, just... Why won't it let me jump to that thread? Just redeemed. Show off a board game. Oh, awesome! I'm so sorry I missed it, Daniel. I'm so sorry. Welcome. This is the first time. There should be an alert. You are literally the first person to ever redeem this. All right, Daniel. We're gonna show off a board game here. I've never had the opportunity. So I'm very excited. You have a game in mind off this shelf that you might be interested in, but you are the first person to redeem this option. I love me a good board game. Let's move. This is my total gym. We're gonna move my total gym out of the way here because we're gonna do some total board games. A game that you know. Do you have one in specifically? Dragon Strike's a pretty fun one. I could show off some of my Magic cards if you want. Please pick Clue. Please pick Clue. I have the Office Clue unopened. I've way too many board games. No, I don't have enough. X-Men Alert's pretty cool. Let's see here. I would love to show off. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna do Heroescape because it's unless you have a specific one. Invisible Perma says Mage Wars sounds interesting. Mage Wars is fantastic. Let's see if we get Mage Wars here. This box I think is empty. So I have 2 copies of Mage Wars. Mage Wars is a fantastic. I almost want to call it a deck building game, but it's a spellbook building game. Let's pull Mage Wars out here. Grumpy said, this is nothing. I have a direct report who puts this collection to shame. Well, no, look, Grumpy. That's okay. Not everyone can be that cool. All right, so let's see if we can get this looking nice. Does my dock cam work on? I might have to add a dock cam to this. Let's see. Dock. Dock. Is it just dock? Dock cam. How do I get my dock cam to show up? Docks. Dock. Well, I can't remember the command. Hang on. I gotta look real quick. What is my command? Does anyone remember what my command is to show my document cam? I haven't done it in a little while. Commands, dock cam. Or it just doesn't work on this. Oh, it just doesn't work on this one. Let's try this. There we go. Dock cam. Here we go. I'd argue this is more than nothing. Yeah, I think this is a pretty big collection. But let's see here. See if the dock cam can look inside this box here. All right, here we go. Pull the dock cam up. Gotta move my monitor back a little bit while I'm working on this. Thank you so much for redeeming. I haven't redeemed this one before. Let's maybe rotate this camera a little bit. Here, I'll just move my camera to this side so we get the is this even? All right, camera, find my face. Let's mess up my whole streaming setup. Perfect. Interesting. That did not work the way I wanted it to. It's trying to center on my face here. I might need to turn off the auto follow. All right, we'll try that. Here we go. Has no Hero Quest. Hero Quest. I love Hero Quest. I don't have Hero Quest. It's been on something I've wanted to have for many years. I played it a lot when I was younger. So Mage Wars. It's a pretty thick rule book. It's not too thick, but this is a game. This is a game of two battling wizards. So this is why I call it a deck building game. Not deck building. It's a deck. So I love games. In this game, you have two wizards. So you have these spell books, and you fill out these spell books. How much strategy? Thoughts on Monopoly? I hate Monopoly. Well, let me talk about Monopoly in a minute. Hate is a strong word. Monopoly is the bottom of the barrel classic game that if you want a social game, you can. So this is a game. Your deck is essentially put into a spell book like this. And the reason you have your spells in this spell book is you have access to anything in your spell book in the game. In the game, you have access to anything in your spell book. So it's not like you shuffle your deck and then draw to the deck. It's like you have a giant hand. And so you spend points. So each wizard, when you're building it up, you have a certain number of points in each school of magic. So for example, this particular magic, which costs 11 points to cast. It's a lot like Magic the Gathering, but this is an arcane spell. This is an arcane spell. It costs 3 arcane points to add this to your spell book. So it costs 3 arcane magic, and different wizards, different mages is what we should say. Let me see. So you have different mages. Different mages you can add to that you select. So you select your sort of avatar. So if you're the wizard, you have training, and it's really hard to see here. It's not focusing. Focus. The wizard is trained in the art of arcane and and an elemental school of your choice. So you pick one element, so fire, earth, air, or water, and arcane, and all of those spells are face value cost. So if it costs, so for example, on the Drain Power, so this is my wizard spell book over here. The Drain Power spell, it costs 3 arcane to put this in your spell book. Since the wizard is trained in arcane, it costs 3 points to add. If you're not trained in arcane, it would cost double that, so it costs 6. So you can use any spells as long as but so the Beastmaster has trained in nature, so a lot of animal spells, that sort of stuff. So your spell book can contain spells from different classes. So there's a bunch of different types of spells in here. So you have access, let me put this back in my spell book here. You have access to any of the spells in your spell book throughout the game. Once you cast that spell, it's gone. So you have this deck, and so you have like this spell book of resources that you pull out from throughout the game to cast spells and against your opponent. You're trying to destroy your opponent. You have creature spells, arcane spells. You have things that show up on the map. So then let's pull it out even a little bit more here. In this game, I have a lot of stuff in here. You have these trackers. So your mage, you track your mana supply. So every turn you gain a certain amount of mana. If you run out of life, you die. And so spells cost mana, but you have like this mana tracker. This specifies how much mana you gain each turn. So this is just a little thing to help track that. And then there's this big board. So it's a 2D map. So your mages are on the map, your creatures are on the map, and you move around. You have to position yourself. You can like summon obstacles, summon walls. Fabulous game. I absolutely love Mage Wars. Such an incredible game. I wish I got it. It's 2 players. At least this version's 2 players. I think they have a 4-player version now that I haven't checked out. But if you get a chance to play some Mage Wars, if you like a strategy card game, absolutely play it. Why not make a game about it? Well, no, copyright reasons. I would love to. So there's a board. You can play this on Tabletop Simulator. So there's some fantastic mods. This game is so good. I would recommend, if you want to give it a test run. Where did I put the lid to this box? The lid to this box is gone, folks. The lid to this box, I lost it. Did anyone see where I put the lid? This is crazy. Let me look around a little bit more here. Daniel, thank you so much for the redeem, my friend. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any more questions about the game, feel free to ask. Put Mage Wars back on the shelf here. Awesome game. It's not a collectible card game or a trading card game. I think it's called a living card game. So a living card game is a game in which when you buy stuff, you know exactly what you're getting inside of it. Let's turn off this dot cam here. Oh, can't do that from this one. Tommy Luco, welcome back. Yo, welcome back to the crew, my friend. Daniel just redeemed now my dot cam's open here. Doc. There we go. Daniel redeemed, check out a board game. We just checked out Mage Wars. Awesome game. One of my favorite. There are no booster packs to add cards to the collection. That's correct. So they have expansions, but you know exactly what you're getting in the expansion. So you don't buy booster packs to add stuff. It's all known ahead of time. That's why I actually own 2 copies of the game, because I wanted to be able to have there's no lottery. Exactly. I love it for that reason. I own 2 copies of the core game and several copies of the expansions, Mage Wars. So this game is just so good. 7.6 on board game is pretty good. You get the core set. But yeah, I love this game. If you want to try it out for free, Tabletop Simulator, Mage Wars. Mage Wars Arena Complete Edition. Oh, they do have a computer version of it. I might have to check that. Oh no, this is Tabletop Simulator. I highly recommend if you get Tabletop Simulator, so free is not quite right. Tabletop Simulator, get the Mage Wars. You can play it with online, check it out. People on Tabletop Simulator tend to be pretty nice. But if you can find someone to play this with, I would play it with you. I would love to play this with someone if I have some time. But yeah, highly recommend Tabletop Simulator if you like board games. You can test out lots of games. This game is amazing. Tabletop Simulator, good question. I think it goes on sale a lot. I think it's $20. Tabletop Simulator. Steam, $20. Yeah, $20. I have several copies. Maybe I'll do some giveaways for Tabletop Simulator, because I often buy the 4-pack when it's on sale and just give them away to people. I might do that. But Tabletop Simulator is so good. I have lots and lots of hours in it. Mono says, "Oh, Captain, my Captain. Hey, dude, hope you are well." I'm doing fabulously well, Mono. How are you? Thank you for your stream the other day. I appreciate you. Oh, we missed it. Patson95 is welcome. I gotta welcome you to the crew. Patson95. Thank you for following me. Yeah. Patson95. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the crew today. Patson95, thank you for the follow. So sorry I missed it a little bit earlier. I was just so distracted by the wonderful redemption. Daniel, thank you so much for that. I put that on there because I love sharing those types of things. The Dev Dad says, I got Tabletop Simulator, I hate the controls. Tommy Luke says, I hate the controls. That's interesting. I do think it takes some time to figure out. I honestly, but I have like 900 hours in it. So I was going to say, it becomes very natural to me. I personally feel like I'm sitting at a table playing. Dev says, I like Monopoly because it's a social engineering game. Monopoly is a game in which one person gets ahead, and then the rest of the game people just suffer. So it's too much like real life, in my opinion. The Dead Monopoly. I think it's a fun social game. It's a fun social game to play, but it's too much like real life. Welcome to Lurk Mode, Daniel. Thank you so much for hanging out. As always, keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you can come back anytime. You are welcome here anytime, my friend. Tom Luke says, Tabletop Sim has an amazing amount of games. I just never like the controls of it or being too dumb to understand them. It takes it takes some time to get comfortable with them. I agree. Tom says, my wife and I tried it, but we never got into it. I love it. And you can the mod support's awesome. So I've actually modded a handful of games in Tabletop Simulator for automating stuff. Tommy Luco says, Monopoly is such a horrible game. Yeah, once you're behind, no matter what, you'll never catch up. That's sort of what it is. Draco says, Draco the Boozer says, I always destroy my friends in Monopoly. Fun little fact, I had someone call the police on me when I was playing Monopoly, so maybe that sullied my taste for it a little bit. But I've had the police, someone picked up a phone, wasted everyone's time dialing 911 and told the police operator that they needed someone. This was like a friendly game of Monopoly that went south real fast. So I don't play. That said, I own several copies of Monopoly. I do like the collection. Need to explain. Oh man. Dad, maybe another time. Remind me to explain it to you. I'll explain it to you. But yeah, I've had the police call me. It was dumb. It was silly. It's a fun little memory. Dad says, once you get ahead, it gets tough to finish. Yeah. So there's like a short version of Monopoly where you set a time limit, and I kind of like that one. John says, it's such an American thing to do, call the police on someone. To be fair, the person said, they asked me to leave. They asked me to leave, and I said, no, I'm not going to leave. And they said, if you don't leave, I'm going to call the police. And I said, do it. And they called the police. So to be fair, I goaded them on a little bit over the game of Monopoly. You should do a live stream where you play board game with us. Maybe I will. That would be really fun. Deb says that context does help me a little bit. If you don't leave, I'm going to kick you out. I don't know why Automed said that, Tom. Yes, where I come from. If you don't leave, I'm gonna kick you out. So I did leave. So here's the thing: I was the ride. It was my friend's birthday party. I was the driver for like 4 people. So it was like half the people that there wasn't a lot of people. Half the people there were with me. And the person was saying that I had to leave over a game of Monopoly. And here's the thing, I wasn't even winning. I was losing. So here comes the context, Dad. All right, here we go. The game of Monopoly was a birthday party. So to be fair, this person was having a rough day anyway. So we were playing Monopoly, 8-player Monopoly. There are 8 people in the game. 2 people had to leave. And so they gave... all of their properties, all of their resources to one person when they left. And I thought that was unfair. And so I gave all of my stuff, my friend and I sort of said, all right, well, we're gonna give all our stuff to this other person so that it's a little bit more fair. And then and I was sitting at the table and we were like collaborating and working against someone's like, what should we do? What's our plan? What's this? And so we started winning, and the person who was losing was it was their house. And they said, if you're not in the game, you can't be at the table. And I got upset, and some mean words were said, and he asked me to leave. And I said no, and then the police were called. So that's essentially the story. It's a dumb story over Monopoly. Monopoly's a terrible game. That said, Monopoly is one of my favorite. I actually own like mini Monopoly games. I play Monopoly a lot. I think it's a good social game. Very little strategy involved, but there is strategy involved. So believe it or not, there is some. So here's the thing. I play a lot of Monopoly. There's a lot of strategy in Monopoly. It was too much, Tommy, but that the person whose house it was, we're still great friends. One of my best friends. We talked about it, and he was just having a really bad day. So it's one of those times where it's like, don't judge someone for something they did, especially if they apologize for it, because you don't know the context of that person. Monopoly says has strategy involved, but those non-trader people bother you. Yeah, so there's like trading, and it's about coercion, and yeah. I never played Monopoly when she's around. Ken says, my issue with Monopoly is that somebody basically wins the game before the game is over. Exactly. The game just dies. That's my big thing, is it takes about another hour. Once someone gets ahead, it's just a game of suffering. There's not enough luck involved, and there's not enough strategy involved to allow someone to have a comeback. And so it suffers. So Mario Kart is one of my favorite examples. I call it it's probably other games do it too, but I always call it the Mario Kart effect. The Mario Kart effect. Mario Kart's such a good game because when you're in first place, you are actually slightly slower. The further ahead you are in the race, you have like a penalty applied to you, and the further behind you are in the race, you have a penalty, like a bonus that gives you extra speed. Also, for collecting items, you get better items when you're in the further away, and you get worse items the further up. So it gives you the ability, rubber band effect in racing games. Yeah, it gives you the ability to actually catch up to that person. Monopoly does not provide you with anything like that, and so that is my basic, one of the reasons I don't like Monopoly. There's no strategy for coming back. And you just sit there, one person starts winning, and then it's just a game of suffering. It's just a game of suffering, and that's why I say it's like real life. A couple people are winning, and for the most part, everybody else is losing. Dev Dad, oh my goodness, thank you so much for the donation, $3 for the Monopoly story. I appreciate that so much. The Dev Dad, thank you for donating $3 for the Monopoly story. I appreciate it so much, my friend, today. The Dev Dad, that's going straight into into the pile of money. Gonna go straight into the tutor jar, the mentor jar. Folks, for the game jam that's coming up. If you guys don't know, Captain Coders Learn You a Game Jam is coming up. You can join in. I'm going to be hiring some tutors, some mentors to help you out, learn something new. We're going to have some art tutors. We're going to have some coding tutors, Unity, Godot, anyone who wants to be a tutor or mentor, let me know. I'd love to bring you in. Let me know what you got. Show me what you got. But we're going to have Ace as our Godot expert. Revere is going to be one of our Unity Blender experts. I think Mooniz, if you have some time, I think Mooniz says he'd be happy to help. But that money's going straight into the tutor pot so that we can split that up amongst the tutors that we're going to bring in. Thank you guys so much for this. That was fun. That was too much fun. I'm going to venture with Godot. Yeah. I played around with it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm amazed at this. Why don't I have errors here? Let's reload. Reload this window. Gal Gadot, yeah. Gal Gadot. I'm amazed I'm not getting errors here. Because didn't I say that my I expression, my values, my I value is an I expression. The substitute thing should be showing up in all of these. That's the issue. Okay, here we go. Now it's working. Implement interface. All right, substitute. For now, I'm gonna say that this has to be abstract. So our subclass will have to provide it for us. Darwin says, nice story, Cap. Really had fun listening to it. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much for asking. Dev Dad for prompting me on that story. 50 points to you, my friend, because I had to, that's my feelings on Monopoly. I think Monopoly can be really fun with the right people as long as you go into it knowing that you're gonna, knowing that someone's gonna lose a horrible and painful existence. So essentially we just substitute this all the way down. So this should return an addition expression, a new addition expression, with left dot substitute label. So see how we're just propagating it through sub, and then right dot substitute label to sub. You just propagate it all the way through, and I'm going to be duplicating this all the way down And so I was thinking I could probably in the parent class or have some sort of thing that says, well, all I really care about is this constructor. That's what I really care about. And so I think I'm going to add a protected property called like a constructor. So I was going to do a function from iExpression to iExpression like this constructor. And really it's just a constructor should return a new left. I wish I could just return addition expression like this. This is what I could do in a functional language. But really this is a left, right, goes to new. It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be the same thing here. Addition expression, left, right. I don't even know if this is worth doing. What is this complaining about? New protected member declared in sealed type. That's fine. It should, because it's gonna be an override. I'm not sure that this is what I really care about doing. Is there any benefit? I get rid of this substitute thing if I do it this way. I think I'm okay. We're gonna do it this way, and I'm gonna decide if I like it or not. Dev Dad for Prez, Mono says, and then Dev says, people have stopped playing with me because I rage quit once when the entire table conspired against me. Yeah, so it is a social game in that regard. Darkman says, I published my first trailer ever for my last game, Dark Monster version 1, some days ago. Awesome, Darkman. Please share it on the Discord. I'd love to check it out. Tommy Luke says, by the way, Dev Dad, when are you switching to NixOS? Dev says, I watched Wally stream crash today on Nix. Who is Wally? And regarding OBS, I use the flat pack on whatever Linux I'm on. Gotcha. Okay, so this perform, I'm gonna make this a thing that you have to override. And we're gonna make this a binary constructor, binary expression constructor. So we're gonna create a delegate called binary expression constructor. So down here we're gonna do public delegate binary expression constructor. This is going to return a iExpression and accepts an iExpression left and an iExpression right. So we can create a delegate like this to be a little bit more specific. This should be a binary expression constructor. There we go. We call it constructor here. Now in this parent class, I want to create an abstract. I'm not going to have an abstract substitute. Instead, we're going to have a protected abstract constructor here that has to specify a getter. So we're going to force our subclass to say, well, if I want to construct another copy view, how do I do it? And then this will allow us in this substitute method to generalize it and not care about the subclass. So it's a little bit easier to think about it this. Let me go back in time a little bit, get this. This is what I made. Still that, and then we'll go forward. We'll go forward in time here until we're back here. And then my binary operator expression, essentially instead of doing return new, we do construct. We're gonna call construct store.invoke like that. And this will allow us to subclass it a little bit better. I don't know if this is overkill. It just makes me really prefer this because now I don't have to worry about thinking about the substitution all the way down like that. So we still have to implement this constructor part here. Tommy says, as it's the most stable, same for KDen Live. I use the flat pack on Linux whenever, interesting. Darkman says, done. I shared it on self-promotion. Awesome. Let's check that out. Self-promotion. Over here. Daniel, let's watch this trailer. Let's see. Sometimes things stop working here. One sec. Let me make sure the quality is all the way up. quality. 480p is the highest? Okay. Boom. We wake up. Oh no. Dark Monster. Darkman, excellent little trailer video. Beautiful, beautiful work. What did you use to make that? Thank you so much for sharing. That was incredible. Sick, yeah, Darkman. Nice work, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing that. Amazing trailer. Yeah, incredible work. You made it with Unity? You made the trailer with Unity? Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. High production value, I agree. Totally. Amazing work, my friend. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Beautiful. Okay. All right, we gotta focus. All right, this becomes new addition expression. This becomes a new subtraction expression. This becomes a new multiplication expression. This becomes a new division expression. I wonder if I can do something smarter with a generic type to say, oh, when we subclass this, you have to have, because I know we can do something like implements new. Oh, you can do like a type T where T has to have a new. Well, we'll see. We'll think about that in a little bit. Seoc 7, SEOQ7, Seoc. Welcome to the crew. I'd like to welcome you. SEOQ7, SEOQ7. I can't pronounce your name. Welcome, my friend, to the crew. This is Guardian Stone. Guardian Stone. I can say those words, it's easier than Seoc7. Seoc said, Guardian Stone, thank you for being here. How do you pronounce that name? What would you say is the pronunciation for SEOQ7? I'm not good. Or is it QT? This is other account. Well, welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome back. Thank you for the additional follow. Did you follow just for a song? Or is it just because the other name's hard to pronounce? Because it's in, I think is that Korean? Seoc equals stone. Stone is equal to Seoc. Thank you for letting me know. Today I learned, folks. Tommy Looper says, it's funny, our serious team's work chat is more memes than anything else, and the biggest meme slash GIF user is our manager. Interesting. Yeah, I'm really curious if I can force subclasses of binary operator expression to have a 2-argument constructor. That would be something I might be able to pull off. All right, so we got our arithmetic expression. I was hearing Seahawk. What a name, Seahawk. Yeah. All right, so binary Boolean operators. We got to do the same thing here. But this is why I did, it's almost identical, but slightly less copy and paste. The substitution for this, add expression, an OR expression. And this one is a not, okay, so this one, the substitutes, this one's not a Boolean. The substitution on this, I hate. We'll do public override. No override. Public I expression substitute grumble like this, and this is going to be a new not expression with the label expr.substitute to label to sub. So we just have to keep propagating this all down in. Tommy Luke says, anybody here followed today's Chess World Championship game? I didn't know that the World Championship was going on. I'm not following it, Tommy. Anyone else? Harry KD says, ahoy, Captain. Ahoy, Harry. How are you on this beautiful Wednesday? Are you having a beautiful Wednesday? I hope you're having a beautiful Wednesday. I'm having a beautiful Wednesday. So nice to see you here. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. It's so lovely to have you here. All right. If else expression is gonna need it, but I'm trying to go down top to bottom. Dice group should have, there's no expressions on this. So this one just returns, and maybe we'll add it so you can put expressions for the dice counts and side count, but I'm not gonna do that yet. For now, this is going to return this. Substitution. So like sort of the value types, when you get down to the bottom, it's like, that's it. We're done. Okay. I expression. If else expression. So again, substitute for this. We just got to substitute it in each of our expressions. I'm hating that Visa's code is not automatically doing this for me. Harry says, I'm good. I'm having a beautiful Wednesday. That's wonderful to hear. Have you created a grammar file for this? I want to try and do it in Rust. I should write out the grammar explicitly. There's like chunks of it floating around. For example, if I go to my parser, a lot of it's chunked out in my parser. So for example, my arithmetic, I have the add sub expression looks like this. And then this is sort of like the grammar for this section of it, but I should probably explicitly write it out. Same with my booleans. I have this grammar defined. It's just not explicitly written down. I did this for myself to make sure that I was doing it properly. That sort of thing. So what is DiceLang? Only has 6 data types. It actually only has 2 data types right now. 3. We're adding a third one in. So DiceLang, good question. DiceLang. It's a programming language we're making this week. So on the Discord, people often, and I highly encourage this, we have projects. You can suggest a project. We try and do a new project every week, every 2 weeks. 100 Acres over on the Discord said they would like to see how to create a programming language, because it's one of my favorite things to do. I've done it a lot. I often fall back onto like, oh, this would be so easy if the programming language had these semantics. And so I'll often build what's called a domain-specific language. And they were asking how to do it, and I thought this would be a fun little thing. So DiceLang is a programming language that will support, and I can't run it right now because we can't build, but it's going to support syntax where dice notation, so 3d6 is a numeric type in the language. So randomness is built into the numeric types. 3d6 is 6 3-sided dice. So you roll 6 3-sided dice, and this will be the result of that. So dice notation is directly built into the language. We're currently in the process of adding in let expressions, which allow us to do bindings like variable-esque bindings. They're not variables because they cannot change, but they're labels. So we're adding in let scope bindings like that. And then we'll add in functions next. Deb says, is there any practical real-world value to building a language, or mostly good for exercise and learning? I think there's absolutely practical reasons to do it. One of the examples, when you have a problem that is really, really... So I actually kind of think this is a semi-practical thing to do. Let me show you real quick. So this DiceLang, I wrote it not as an interpreted language, but as a little mini language. I write little mini languages all the time. Let me show you the original version of this in my core library. All right, so let me pull up the documentation. Absolutely. So I wanted to be able to easily add dice rolls, randomness into programs. And I wrote DiceLang. This is DiceLang++. It's actually an it's going to be a full-blown interpreted language. DiceLang, the original version, is just it's a language extension to C# that adds in support. So I know this coloring here is terrible, but you can do with this library, we have support to do this in C#. You import the library and you can do this. This is the syntax. I just do 3d6 plus strength dot to dice notation or 2d4 dot simple roll. This basically, I wanted a very simple way to do dice rolls, and so I wrote a little language to do dice rolls. And so I did this before I actually implemented. Now I'm doing the full language, so I'm adding in ifs and else. So often it is very useful to define a domain-specific language that isn't a full programming language. So the dice laying original one was a domain-specific language specifically for doing, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better here. A domain-specific language for doing this type of thing. It's not an interpreted language, but it's a language that you can use in other contexts and gives you this semantics for doing that type of programming, where otherwise you'd have to be like, okay, well now I'm going to construct a whole thing to do it. So that, I would say, absolutely practical experience, knowing how to do this and write little tiny interpreters that you can run inside of. So often the languages I write will not have a full REPL or compiler or anything like that. This is absolutely one. Exactly, DevDad, that's exactly right. I can use this notation anywhere in my code base. All I have to do is using captaincoder.dice, and then I have on any string, I have this extension method that lets me turn it to a dice notation and evaluate it. Dice, that's why I'm calling it dicelang++. Atoms, let's call them atoms like Haskell. Yeah, so some languages like Haskell and Racket Scheme let you do this a lot more easily by letting you do what's called metaprogramming. So in Haskell, they're called templates. You can actually extend the language itself. So ideally, I could do it in a programming language that would let me do just 3d6 and say like, oh, well, 3d6 is now new notation in your language. So it's a template, it's an extension to your language. If I do 3d6, it knows that this is an integer. It knows that it doesn't. C# doesn't let me define my own operators. Essentially, I want to define D as an operator that says, expects an integer on the left, an integer on the right, and does something with it. C# and most languages don't, a lot of languages don't support, I don't want to say most, but most imperative languages, I've never seen an imperative language that supports it. But it's sort of a very functional thing to do, to have meta programming where you can define templates and extend the language. So this is why I love Scheme. Maybe Lisp, I haven't done enough in Lisp, but Scheme lets you extend the language so you can actually add this type to the language. Haskell has templates and it lets you extend the language, and I love that. And so whenever I'm working in Haskell, I'm always writing my own little DSLs and languages. So anytime you find yourself doing something like, wow, it's really painful to do this, it might be time. It's like, oh, well, I can do this, but I have like all these classes, all this stuff. It might be easier in the long run to define a little language that has the semantics that you want. Creating a Turing-complete language is way too much for this. It's way too much for this. So that's why I call it a toy language. I don't actually need a full-blown interpreter for it. So sorry to ramble there, but DevDad, thank you for the question. I absolutely think from an educational standpoint, to understand what the language is, how languages work, you'll understand so much more about what a compiler is doing, how an interpreter is working, what's going on behind the scenes if you implement a language. But also just from a practical standpoint, you can make your life as a programmer super easy. Thank you for asking. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I got a little bit off track here, or a little bit sidetracked. But we're gonna return. We just gotta substitute this all the way in. New if else expression with our substitution condition dot substitute label to sub. The other thing is that once you've done a couple, you'll start to realize how simple. That's the one thing people are always amazed. It's always interesting to me, and I guess it makes sense. People are always amazed when they hear, well, you made your own programming language. Like, yeah, it's not that hard to do. Once you've done it and you've understand a little bit of the theory and a little bit of the ideas, especially purely functional languages, if you don't include all the crazy semantics, little tiny simple toy languages that meet a specific semantic for you are awesome. One example would be like, what is it? Mermaid graphs. Mermaid is a perfect, this is a diagramming programming language. This perfect mermaid language syntax. This is a perfect example of a domain specific language. Maybe you want to be able to extend mermaid. Mermaid lets you do flowcharts like this. This is an example. This is not a Turing complete language, but he says, well, it would be really nice if I could write a text file that looked like this, and then I could generate these things. A lot of times you want to be able to generate this stuff. Mermaid is a perfect example of a language, of a good use of designing a language. Someone else has done this, obviously. This is Mermaid, but you could define your own semantics as well. And I find it, I was gonna say endlessly useful, but almost endlessly useful. Okay, we got if else here. Relational operators. Okay, so these ones will be similar to our binary operators. The substitute like this. Relational operators. I copied the wrong thing, I'm pretty sure. Arithmetic expressions. These are all binary operators. So we can do this, and this becomes greater than expression. This becomes binary. Less than expression. This becomes equality expression, like this. All right, I'm assuming we're getting close. These are gonna have issues. Bool value. The failures of VS Code are killing me today, man. Substitute is just going to return this. There's nothing to substitute into a value. Same with int val. Substitute just returns this. And then I think we are, let's see if it builds. .NET build. I still see 9 problems. May not build here. It build, okay, .NET test. Did we break any of our tests? So we did get that refactor in. That's beautiful. Okay, our tests still pass. Let me do a commit, because this is a huge refactor. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so git commit -m feat add substitute method, add iExpression.substitute and implement for subclasses. There we go. DevDad says, gotta run. Thanks for the stream. Catch y'all later. DevDad, no, thank you. Thank you for being here, my friend. Enjoy your run. Enjoy your run. Enjoy running wherever you're running to. Keep coding. Keep growing. I'm looking forward to your next stream, my friend. And you are welcome back anytime. Anytime, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, folks. Or DevDad. Everyone should have a beautiful day, too. So we're almost done implementing let expressions. The let expression here, we didn't finish this because I was just having some issues with it. So we're going to evaluate this value, and then we pass it in. Body expression.evaluate. That's what I was missing here. There we go. All right, so here is how this will work. Ace says, I'm having a beautiful day. Now the sun is out. Finally, yeah, the sun. Isn't the sun a wonderful thing to have in your life? Ace, I'm so glad you're having yourself a beautiful day. I'm happy you're here too. All right, folks, we got body expression with the substitute. So the way the let expression works is first we evaluate the value, and then we have a label for it, and then we just call substitute and propagate this down to all. This way we had to add substitute to all of our expression. Then in the body expression, we just propagate it through. There's something smelly that I don't quite like about this, that my I values have to be expressions, and I'm not sure how I feel about that completely. But let's write some tests. We'll write some tests to make sure our let is working, and then we got that. We finished it. So I think we have time to get this done. Probably won't add language level errors, and we probably won't be able to add in a parser for let expression. But let's see how we do. It might be easy to add one in. Where I put it in I haven't written my grammar out. Is this open source? Sami.end? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you for asking. It is available on all of my projects that I do on stream are open source, available right here for your viewing pleasures, for your perusal. So be sure to, you're welcome to check it out, my friend. Yeah, all about learning here, all about learning. Sami.end, thank you for asking. Other people might have wanted to know that. So because you asked such a beautiful question, Sami, 50 points to you. And if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, do not hesitate, let me know. Happy to pronounce it differently. All right, so I want to make sure my let expressions work. The evaluation. So this is one of the tricky tests that we want to make sure. So I'm going to add in a thing here called let expression test. Be our let expression test. You pronounced it right. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. Evaluate scope test. This would just be a simple one here. And again, we're not going to have a parser for it just yet, so we have to do it manually. We want to make sure the substitutions happen properly. So I want to try the font. I'm going to try evaluate simple sub. So simple substitution. So I want to do let x equal 5 in x. All right, so we'll create an expression. I expression simple let is equal to new let expression. The label is x. The body is going to, the value is going to be an int value 5. And the body is going to, there is a thing here. I don't know if I have an identifier. Oh, I did make an identifier value is x. All right, so this should be our simple new. Here I am programming in Haskell again. I don't have to do news. In Haskell, constructors are just functions, so you can just toss them out there. And so I keep using them as if they're static functions instead of putting new here. I'm so used to writing interpreters and parsers and stuff in functional languages. This is my first time doing it in an imperative language. I've done one in Java using Yak before, but that generates all this stuff for you. So we have a let expression, simple let dot evaluate I value results. We're expecting this to be an I value expected. It should evaluate to an int value, to new int value of 5. And so we're going to assert that they're equal the expected and the result. So this would be a simple substitution. So when we evaluate this, let's see what we get back. See how we do here. It's building, it's running. Does a simple eval work? It does. All right, let's try a simple evaluate simple sub with arithmetic expression with arithmetic. We'll do x equals 5 in x plus 2. So now on our internal body here, the body expression, I'm going to break it down a little bit this way. Our body expression is actually going to be a new add expression, addition expression. We're going to do x on the left and new int value on the right, 2, like that. And the evaluation should be 7. So we're going to see if this gets substituted through. Let's run this test. And we're going to do a let binding with two variables to make sure that the scoping propagates through. And we don't have system, like ideally I would want to add another test to make sure our scoping is okay, but we don't have language level exceptions yet. Let says, running a bit late, but I'm finally heading home. Enjoy enjoy your trip home is what I'm gonna say. But I do hope you enjoy your trip home. But be safe, my friend. And I hope you get some rest. Congratulations for getting through your work day. Have a beautiful time. I probably won't be here because I'm gonna be hopping off in about 20 minutes. But if I'm here when you get back, you're welcome back anytime. That's what I want to say. You are welcome back anytime, Lance. Keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you are welcome back anytime. Evaluate nested let test. So we have we're going to call this nested let. So we're going to do a let x. So this is going to be let x equals 5 in, and we'll do let y equals 2 in x plus y. So see if we can do a nested let like this, so we can basically assign multiple values. So we let x in, and then we'll do another one internally. It's gonna be a new let expression, y, new int value 2, and then we'll have an addition expression internally, and it's gonna have 2 identifier values, identifier value y. And we got to make sure we have the correct number of parentheses. There we go. And so this should still be 7, but now we're substituting x and y in. Go ahead and run this test. I'm really happy. I was kind of expecting there to be some sort of scoping issue in here. Let's see if we can do it with let nested and then have a semi-complex one in here. But before we do that, I got to welcome our latest crew member, nested here. Our latest crew member, Q Biscuit. Q Biscuit. Let's see, Q Biscuit. It's like 2.5 syllables, 3 syllables. Q Biscuit. Q Biscuit. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, Q Biscuit. Welcome, my friend. I'd like to say a thank you for following. A thank you, Q Biscuit, for following me. Following the Captain Coder today. Q Biscuit, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coder's Academy, where we learn and code and grow together. This week, we are implementing a programming language called DiceLang++, in which the language supports dice notation, built-in dice notation. Q-Biscuit says, great, welcome, thank you. No, thank you, Q-Biscuit. Thank you for being here, my friend. I'm so happy you're here on this beautiful Wednesday. How are you? And thank you for popping in. I hope you're having a good time. All right, so we're gonna evaluate nested let with nesting. All right, so we're gonna add in some more nesting here. So we're gonna do let x equals 5, let y equals 2 in x plus 3. Doing the dice notation there will be weird. X plus 5 less than y or equal to y plus x plus 2 is equal to, x plus y is equal to y plus x. That's what we'll do. We'll write this expression just to make sure that the x gets substituted in both times and the y gets substituted in times. So we're testing the propagation all the way down. One thing that would be really nice, and I wonder if there's something that can do this, in Haskell we have something called quick test, where it can look at the semantics of how your constructors could potentially build this thing using your generic algebraic data types, and it can generate a bunch of tests for you. That would be a cool thing to do, just make sure that any arbitrary generation would work. But I don't know if there's a tool like that. So we have let this, let that, and then we have an equality check. So I'm gonna do a new equality expression. The left equality is x plus y. And the right equality is going to be y plus x, like that. And the expression we're expecting is actually going to be a bool value of true. They should be true. Let's run this. All right, and I'm pretty happy with where this test is. And we're gonna try and write a parser really, really quick. We only have 15 minutes. Can we do it? Who knows? Maybe we can. That said, we did just implement let expressions. We're gonna do a push on this. Get status, get add, get status, get commit dash test, implement basic sanity tests for let expression. Boom, push that up. And for being here to witness this momentous occasion, folks, you know what you're gonna get? You're gonna get 50 points, all you beautiful people, all 41 of you are gonna get 50 points for being here today to witness this let expression miracle, folks. No, it's not a miracle. This let expression implementation. Let's see if we can write a let expression parser real quick. Come back over here to our parsers. I'm gonna duplicate just one of these. I'm gonna call that one's super complex. Let's duplicate the if-else parser. It's gonna be our let expression. Let's call it a let parser. This, and this is gonna be let exper, and we search for a let followed by. Oh, we need a parser for our identifier. This is where the hard part is. So we need an identifier parser. Public static. Really, it's just looking for a string. Just looking for a string on its own. Parser, I expression. Really, it should be an I value maybe, because it's going to be a identifier. Okay, so it should be a identifier value, really. Identifier value. Identifier parser, I'm not sure. Value, we'll find out here in a moment. And the identifier value, we're going to tokenize it. So we're going to say from ID in, and really it's going to be one or more. So it should be a parse dot any char, not any char, it should be like a letter. So we're only gonna allow letters. We're gonna say that our identifiers in our language for now can only be letters, dot at least once. So it's gonna parse at least one letter, maybe multiple letters. And then token is gonna say that there can be no white space on the left. Or there can be white space on the left or right side, just discard it. And then finally, when we have that ID, we're just going to return a new identifier value with that ID. Beautiful. This is in a string. What is the type? This is probably a enumerable of iChar. Okay. Dot. I wish I had a nice toString. I keep doing the string dot join like this. So then we're just going to join it together as a string. And maybe I think I want to write an extension that just says like a dot join on it. That said, we got a new crew member, folks. Saber 246. Welcome aboard, my friend. Yeah, we've got a Saber 246 in the crew today. I'd like to thank you so much for following me. Welcome to the Academy, my friend. Saber 246, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coder's Academy. Donnie Hostilla says, what's up, Captain? Donnie, how are you doing, my friend? I'm doing fabulous. We're working on our dice language today. How are you on this beautiful Wednesday? I hope you're doing well. And then Sami.n. Sami.n. Thank you for following in. Sami.n. Sami.n, I appreciate you here today, and I just gotta say thank you again, Sami. Thank you for following. Sami, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Happy Wednesday. I appreciate you being here. If you need, look, folks, if you're new to the stream, Captain Coder is me. I am Captain Coder. I am a computer science educator. If you have any questions, programming related or otherwise, do not hesitate to ask. I love taking questions. Just keep them PG-11, folks. PG-11. family friendly stream, programming or otherwise. Any questions, welcome. Thank you. Donnie says, I'm pretty good, just at work, haven't been able to tune into this series, so I got some catching up to. Yeah, I'm hoping to write a little blog. I haven't been keeping a blog this time, I'm just too busy with work. It is available on GitHub, but we are working on a programming language. If you want to check out the source code, you can, but I'm hoping to put together a blog about it. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do that, but I hope I'll be able to put a blog about it. And all the VODs are on YouTube, of course. Yeah, so thank you for being here. Let's see if we can finish this. It's gonna be let, and then this needs to be an identifier value. So we'll call this identifier. And then we have a value expr. And this can be any dice line expression. And then this is the body expr. Let this equal, so it's let, so the semantics should be let ID equal value in body, like this. Value, so let identifier equal this in, and then the right side is also just a dice laying expression. And so we can put the body, this will be a new let expression with our identifier, our value expr, and our body expr. What's interesting is I have this return a value, but I guess it should be a string. Yeah. So this should be identifier, let's rename this, identifier string. Because this doesn't return an actual value, this is just gonna return this string this way. So we parse that at least once, and then we join them together. Okay, because our let expression takes in a string, not the actual identifier parsed value like that. Q-Biscuit, welcome to the Discord, my friend. So nice to have you here. Besides semantic HTML, Strongbed says, and ARIA IDs, what can be done for screen readers to interpret the CSS and JavaScript elements on the page? ChatGPT doesn't have a specific answer. I wish I knew a little bit more, Strongbed. There is a subreddit that you can join, and that's probably the best was Blind Devs Reddit. Blind programmer, there's a subreddit, it might just be blind. This subreddit always answers amazing questions like this. I might recommend asking in here, and I think there's actually a whole subreddit just for blind developers. I haven't done any web programming for blind developers. I would recommend this subreddit. The people here are awesome, very, very open. So you might say, hey, I'm a developer. I was wondering if anyone could point me in the right direction for doing what is the way I can know? A lot of people on this subreddit are programmers. And so I think you'll get a really good response there. And good luck. Yeah. So anyway, just be polite. And I don't think you'll have any problem with that. Strongbad, excellent question. Before we test this parser out, I gotta welcome Tim Apple. Tim Apple, welcome my friend. Tim Apple, welcome to the crew. You are now a member here. Yeah, with Tim Apple. In our crew, we're gonna code away with a few lines of code, my friend. Tim Apple, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. I'm so happy you're here. If you have any questions, programming related or otherwise, do not hesitate to ask. And backseat coding is encouraged here, my friends. Is encouraged. I learned so much when people backseat code. All right, so this is going to build us a let expression. Let's write a really simple test for this. I can't believe this. Oh, I say I can't believe, but I haven't tested it yet. Let's write a little test here to see if this parser works, and then let's see if we can add it into our dice laying expression. That's the trick here. This is a slight issue because it shouldn't be a dice laying expression here, because you shouldn't be able to put a let inside of the equal. I guess you could actually, My brain feels like it shouldn't be able to do that, but I guess you could. So this would imply that we could do something like this. Example here. I guess this is true. So let player 1 equals let x equals this in x, and it would evaluate that. I guess we could do that. I guess that would be okay. It's a very weird thing to do, but I don't think there's a reason. I don't see a compelling reason not to support it. Tim out says, hi, so nice. Well, I'm so glad you're here. If I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, do not hesitate to let me know. I want you to feel welcome here, Tim. You are now a member of the crew, the captain's crew, the coding crew, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here so much. Let's see if we can get this parser tested real quick. I might go a little bit long today, just to get this through because I'm so close. This is our let expression test. So we'll do a simple parse. Simple parse test. All right. So hopefully this will be our simple let, and the right side should be our let expression. Is this our parser? What did I call it? Let parser, let exper. Dot. Do I not have sprack in here? Using sprack dot try parse. Wait. Why is this parsers dot? Sorry. Parsers dot let expert dot try parse. We're gonna try to parse let x equal 5 in x. All right, so this should parse out, and the right side should be an I result, like that. Result. This should parse this expression out. Okay. And then this is our expected. This should be a valid parse, so we should do assert dot true result dot was successful, and then we're gonna assert that our expected is equal to result dot value. There we go. Run this test. Fingers crossed, folks. Everyone, cross your fingers. Lend me your strength. Oh, will it pass? Will it pass? Please, why will you pass? It failed, and I'm sad. Oh, we might not be able to finish this today. And that'd be okay. Where did it failure? Assert true. All right, let's do it this way. Because if I do it this way, I can get the VS Code to tell me more. Simple parse test, line 70. The result was not true. Okay. Let x equal 5 in x. So we failed here. Let identifier. Oh, identifier. Well, this should work. And this should work. Now I'm interested. I don't quite understand why that wasn't successful. These parsers, I will say, are hard to test. And if it fails, we'll do failed with, and then we'll put out a message here, results dot message. Let's try that again. And let's go and just run them all. Running them all, make sure they pass. And this is our let expression test is what we're checking here. All right, this is the only one that failed, and the failure was unexpected X. So, on this side, that makes sense. If I put 5 here, I'd be happy to do it. We don't have identifiers being parsed. Okay, so our parser, okay. So in our parser, value parser, we need an identifier parser. So let's come over to our identifiers. And essentially it's going to be identifier value parser. Okay, so this is going to be identifier value, and this is where we'll actually produce an identifier value, and maybe I'll call it identifier expr. New identifier value, that. So we have a parser for it. It's not a numeric expression. It should be part of our, is it part of parser helpers? This is interesting. Where's the top level parser? Is it just in parser helper? No, it's not. McNet says, hi, Captain. McNets, hello to you, my friend. How are you on this beautiful Wednesday? Are you having a beautiful Wednesday? I'm having a beautiful Wednesday. I hope you're having a beautiful Wednesday. This is interesting because I probably need to, in my arithmetic expression, where am I using, where's my top? I need to find this expression. Let's go back to my let. Where's my dice expression? It's just in parsers. Okay, so that's not inside of my part. That's why I was having trouble finding it. Move that there. I just broke everything, it looks like. There it goes. You're working. Glad that. I hope work is, I hope that's a good thing. Being able to work is a good thing. So dice length expression, Boolean expression, if else. Let's add in our let here. Let. And the order here, I should probably figure out a good way to clean up this order a little bit. For the grammar purposes, the order here is actually pretty important in a lot of cases. Boolean expression dot or let expr. For speed, it's kind of important too, but we'll put a let expression here. No, not let expression. This needs to be our our identifier. So there's a bunch of things here. Identifier expr is not quite right yet either. Yeah. What is it? Let me look at my if else expression. Conditional expr. So there's something broken, or my conditional expression should be able to support values as well. Parentheses, conditional expression, or conditional expression inner, greater than, less than, equality, or we need to support identifier expressions here. Because your identifier could be a Boolean. This is where we can get some weird exceptions at runtime. You're like, well, this wasn't a Boolean value, but we should be able to put identifiers there. Let's make this this feels easier to read for me here. McNet says it is, but I'm eager to get retired and start streaming. Ooh, how far away are you from retirement? And what do you plan to stream? Are you a dev? I don't know if I've ever asked. I have absolutely loved streaming. Strong says, I feel like I'm painting a work of art learning to build this screen reader website. Yeah, I sometimes feel like that when I'm doing UI stuff too. And really though, I'm a terrible painter when it comes to UI stuff, if that makes any sense. All right, so we added that in. Let's run all of our tests. This is where tests are so important because I just modified a thing that's like touching everywhere. Do my test still pass? All right. In fact, my test passed better than ever. This simple parser, let's go ahead and then in our parsers, can I just add in here a let expr? Can I just add this in? Will my other tests still pass? We'll run them all. And then we're gonna see if we can add in a more complex one. Can we? Oh, this is exciting. We're gonna test this parser. Nested let parser. I'm gonna see if we can do this. So this is the expected outcome. All right. And the parser though, we're gonna parse our expression. Let x be, let y equal 2 in x plus y equals y plus x. and then we will assert true result dot was successful. This should be something we can parse, and it should result in this. So this is our result dot value. Ooh, I hope this passes. This would be so awesome if this passed. You've done a lot of code. Okay, did not pass. But that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna try building a slightly smaller one to see what it is. Run all of them again, so I can get the error in here. Maybe it'll look a little bit nicer outside of the terminal. Well, it's having strong. It says everything has to be explicitly written and tagged appropriately. I don't even know how I plan to test this when I make it. I hope my sister has a friend that uses a screen reader. I'm also happy to test it. I have a screen reader. It's not in this room, but I have a Braille screen reader that I can test it on for you. If you, when you're done, I'd be happy to take a look at it. There's also screen reader emulators, but again, you kind of have to know Braille a little bit. I'm sure there's screen tester things like that too. All right, we failed here. Expected this, but got X value 5 in, I have this little extra X down there at the end. So it helps if you write the correct expression. It does help if you write the correct expression, but let's see if that will pass. It still fails, but maybe we get a little bit better error message here. Why can't I run you? Excuse me. Excited to create the keyboard navigation. Cool. All right, so we still got label X is value in identifier label equals let. Okay, so this is where the order of finding that the keyword let is being seen as a identifier. So this is where like reserved keywords sort of come in. So in our parser, and I got to stop here very, very soon, so we might not finish this. This needs to come. What's interesting is that it should be coming before identifier. That's interesting because our let expression should come first. So we should. Let me look at this expression real quick. Let X equals 5 in. Real Pedro says, happy I was able to push through my tiredness and learn Rust closures. Closures are cool, man. Well enough to cut about 250 lines down to 12. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Paddywhack, real paddywhack for your accomplishments. Whoa. That's right. That's a whoa for sure. For your accomplishment, my friend, 500 points. That's some learning you do there. That's some good learning. Good job. Congratulations on that. We did find let. So I might just create a list of reserved keywords. That would be one way to cheese this. I can't believe I'm so close. I'm so close. I do have to stop here. All right, folks. We will be back tomorrow. Same time, same bat time, same bat place. 8 a.m. Eastern time, folks. We'll be back tomorrow morning. I do have to get to work. I appreciate you all being here. Real quick, before I go, attention all lurkers. If you haven't yet signed up for the giveaway, we are doing a giveaway, folks, on the Discord. All you gotta do is join the Discord, come over to the giveaway channel, click the reaction here. Click this reaction. In 3 days, we're giving away the Captain Coder hologram. Captain Coder hologram desk piece, guaranteed to give you up to 17% bonus coding powers. Guaranteed to give you up to somewhere between 0 and 17% is guaranteed, my friends. But feel free to join the Discord. Click that little reaction. Click that. All you gotta do is click this one here. See this one out? That ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. That enters you to win, folks. Giveaways going on Saturday. And I just gotta say thank you all for your support. If you'd like to join the crew on Discord, you can do so. You can subscribe on Discord, join the Captain's Crew. All money goes to supporting our game jam coming up. That's right. Whoa, Paddywhack. In fact, it's going to go supporting our game jam, going to hiring tutors and mentors to help you guys learn, help people learn. You can join on Discord or on Ko-Fi. Coffee. But thank you guys so much for being here. I love you very much. I appreciate you spending your time. I know there's many things you could be doing right now, and I appreciate you spending the time with me. We're gonna find someone to raid. Give me a moment here. Bear with me. I clicked the wrong button. Find someone to raid here. We are gonna go raid Terranam. Let's see how long he's been going. He usually doesn't go too long. An hour and a half. We're gonna go raid Terranam, making a game, folks. He's making a sweet game. So we're gonna go check that out. As always, folks, keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you are welcome back anytime. Have a beautiful day.